Hello, everyone. It's William here at Allegory Gallery, and I am actually here at Star Cottage Studio. I have been here shipping all day long. Oh, I can hear myself. Hopefully you can't hear me twice. I started the video over there. So how are y'all doing? Happy Monday. Who's out there? Who's joining us? Are you hanging out with us? I sent out an email today to let people know, hey, we do this. This is a thing we do every weekday around 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So hopefully people will come out. Maybe we'll see some new faces out there. If you are new, please, please, please say hi in the comments. I am watching comments here on YouTube, Facebook, and over here I have Instagram. So if you're out there anywhere, please say hi. Hello, Teresa. Hello, Suzanne. Thank you both for joining in. We have a fun show, I think, for you tonight. Andrew is compiling some surprise lots. He's combing through his collection and he's putting some finishing touches on that. He's actually going to jump in here from home in a little bit because he's working from home. I'm working here from the cottage. So I get to hang out with y'all and start all this. And then y'all can hang out with Andrew then while I continue doing some shipping. Mosaic our Skip Pack joined us over on Instagram. Thank you for being out there with us. Norma is here with us. Hello, Norma. I think I'm missing some comments sometimes. So if you're out there on Facebook and I don't read out your comments, it's because it's not showing it to me. There were some from Suzanne the other night that Andrew could see on his phone, but I was not seeing. And I know, Suzanne, you're replying to Nancy. So it looks like Nancy's here, but I have not seen anything from Nancy. So it's so weird. I don't know what's going on. Our streaming to Facebook has been a little bit wild. So I don't know what's happening. Norma is here. Hello, Norma. Suzanne says, Cinnamon says, love, 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 heart eyes to Barnaby. Barnaby is at home. He's not hanging out with me today. I wish he were. TKI Kiplinger, sorry, Kiplinger, T Kiplinger. That makes more sense. Thank you for hanging out with us here on Instagram. And Cindy is also, our friend Cindy is hanging out with us. Thank you so much. Suzanne says my email is wired, weird, probably, right? Yeah, I don't know what's happening in the world, but we're definitely have issues on Facebook with seeing comments. So like I said, if you're out there on Facebook and you're like, why is he reading everyone's but mine? And you're getting that panic and that, it's because I'm not seeing it. So sorry. I seem to be seeing YouTube comments. I'm seeing Instagram comments over here. Andrew said, Teresa Kiplinger, she's an awesome artist. Well, thank you so much, Teresa, for hanging out with us out there. There's Andrew popping in the comments a little bit, correcting, well, not correcting me, informing me, because I don't always know screen name. He's on Instagram a lot more than me. I am a Facebook person. I I think I missed the age cutoff to be a true Instagrammer. So I am on Facebook more than anything. Andrew is out there on Instagram, knowing all your screen names and who y'all are. Let's see here. Teresa Kiplinger sent hearts, lots of hearts back to you, Andrew. Cindy is here. Check, check. I see you, Cindy. Thank you for joining us and hanging out with us. How was your show this weekend, Cindy? I hope you had a good show. Cindy was doing a show up near the Johnstown area. So hopefully it went well. Let's see, there's Teresa. Hello, Teresa. Did I say hi? I'm sorry if I did or didn't. Susie is here, our neighbor Susie. Thank you for joining in. The numbers seem to go up, fluctuating a lot too today, which is weird because I already know I've got more of our people here than it says we have. So I don't know what's going on. Cindy says, it was good. Thank you for asking. Oh, good. I like when people have good shows. That means things are going well. We want people to have good shows, good energy. How are you all doing? It's the second day of fall. It's the second day of fall. The first day of fall, I got up yesterday and I went out to the local park. And by local, that's about a 15-minute drive, which is not too bad. We're very lucky. We have uh, the state park so close to us. And I went out and I walked in the woods. I got up early, which is odd for me. I don't normally get up early. But I got up early and I drove out to the park and I took a walk in the woods. And it was the autumnal equinox, or Mabon, if you celebrate that. And we, the whole idea, because the autumnal equinox, of course, equinox, equal night, the day is equal to the night, generally. You know, um, it's not perfect, but the day is equal to the night is the idea. So you're looking for balance. You have the balance of light and dark. We're now moving into where the dark is going to be longer as we move into these kind of winter months, colder months, which I kind of like. I'm a fan. The heat is not, you know, I'm trying to like the heat more. I like the summer. It's okay. I did better this year than normal, but I see Cheryl must be saying hi. See, I'm not seeing Cheryl's comments. Cindy is out there. Hello, Cindy. So Susie just said hi to Cheryl. Sorry if you're on Facebook. I don't know why I'm not seeing Facebook comments from some streams on Facebook. I don't know what's going on. But hi, Cheryl. Thanks for joining us. So I, you know, we're moving into the colder period, the longer period. Unless you're in the southern hemisphere, then you're moving into the heat, right? I guess. But here in the north, we are heading into the colder. And so the idea, I went out, and the idea is to gather your harvest. We just had the harvest full moon as well. And I went out, and, you know, gathering your harvest can mean a lot of things, whether that's actual harvest. Maybe you farm or you have a garden or fruit trees and you are doing things that are like crops. But you can also harvest, you know, good intentions. You can harvest lessons learned. You can harvest a lot of different things. So the idea is to gather your harvest, but also the balancing part of that is to acknowledge things that you want to let go, right? Things that don't serve you anymore, things that you're ready to release and make room for more things coming in. So I went out and I gathered some leaves and some acorns, you know, just leaves that I was drawn to. I have collected autumn leaves since we were kids. My brother and I and my grandmother would go for walks in the woods, and we would always gather leaves that we were attracted to. I know, maybe it's weird. I don't know if it's weird to all of you or not, but for us, it made perfect sense, especially as kids. We found the most pretty leaves that we liked, and we gathered those, and my grandmother would dry them. She'd put them in wax paper, and I don't know if they're still around. My brother took over her house when she passed away, and perhaps they got thrown out, but there used to be a manila folder. It was a big manila folder, you know, those manila folders that have the strings. And inside of that manila folder was a piece of wax paper, well, two pieces of wax paper with some old leaves in them that are probably from like 1985. And I don't know if they're still around, if they got saved or if they've got pitched over the years. I know my grandmother had them for a long time. And but we would save those. And so I went out and did that kind of in that memory yesterday. And then there's also a river that runs through our park, or a stream. And it was low enough that I could go out and sit. I skipped through the rocks in the river, and I found a big rock to sit on. And I just sat there and I meditated for like 10 minutes. I gave myself like 10 minutes. And just to kind of let the sounds of nature like overtake me a little bit. I'm a very anxious person, so nature was it's very important to me when I can get out into nature and just kind of, you know, bathe in the nature. I didn't want to dive in the water, it was too cold, but I was bathing in the sounds of nature, and it was so nice and just relaxing. Owning a small business is very stressful, as many of you know who have your own. But things in the world are very stressful right now too, whether you own a small business or not. So it was just nice to be able to get out there and do that and kind of reconnect with nature and ground yourselves and ground myself. So I hope that you took the time to do that. And if you didn't, do it tonight, do it tomorrow. It's all right. You're a little bit late. I'm usually a little bit late with about everything. I was actually on time that day. And then I went to the store and I made a bracelet using carnelian, amber, and tiger eye, which are very grounding stones in order to, kind of set my intention to be grounded and to get ready for this almost kind of more insular hibernating kind of period that we have coming up. Of course, we're never like that. We've got all of you out there and we go live every weekday, but sometimes it feels like we are coming into a time that's a little bit more let's call it meditative and a little bit more what's the word? Inward looking. Let's not make it sound bad, right? It's not bad, but it's just inward looking. And so I hope you get a chance to do that and make some jewelry that will help you do that. If you need tiger eye or carnelian or amber, we've got it all in our online store, and it's 25% off for Andrew's birthday right now. So hit that up. I don't know if I have a banner for, I do. Happy B-Day, Andrew, save 25%. How about that? I'm going to plug it. I got to plug it a little bit, right? Okay, now I'm going to jump back and I missed some comments here. So Teresa Kiplinger said, and I'm calling you Teresa Kiplinger because we have another Teresa. So just so you know, it says, I so loved pressing fall leaves in wax paper when I was little, right? It's just such a good feeling, like, and to do it with people you love. And, the fact that my grandmother kept those, I don't know how long she kept those. They may still be in her cedar chest. I know like I said, my brother took over that cedar chest. If he saw those leaves, he may not even remember what they were. He didn't ask me about them. I forgot to ask when we were cleaning out the house. He may not have a clue because he was probably very young. He may have been 3 or 4 or 5 back then. But every once in a while, I'd fool my grandmother. I'd pull the paper, I'd pull that envelope out, and I'd be like, "Hey, Gram, do you know what's in here?" And she played along. I think she really played along. She knew what it was. She says, "Oh, it's your pap's paperwork," and I'm like, "No, it's our leaves." And, and so it was like every time I would go through that cedar chest, I would do that with her, and it was just so funny to me that I tricked her every time. But it's your grandmother. You're not tricking your grandmother, right? She knew what was in there. She's just playing along. Suzanne says, I love your bracelet. Thank you. I had a good time making it. And you know why I had an extra good time making it? Because I made it with friends. Jaora from Jada's Jazz Cafe came over, and she came over for what she calls her therapy session. Usually on Sundays, we have a therapy session together, and she comes in and we just BS and chit chat and talk about what's going on in business and what's happening and what we're planning and what's going on in our lives. And it's so nice just to be able to, connect with someone like that and really feel you're not alone in things, because, sometimes we get in our own heads. I know I do. And sometimes I feel like my anxiety I'm the only one that feels this way. And when you talk to another person who's in similar line of work or has a small business or, is just, having a difficult time sometimes, right? But we also get to talk about the good times we're having and the good things going on. And it's just a good feeling, and it's great to connect with someone like that. And she came in and fixed one of her necklaces. I helped her fix something that had broken, and we do that a lot in the store in Johnstown at Allegory Gallery. So if you're watching and you're from Johnstown and you're like, I have something broken, maybe I need help fixing it, come on in and we'll take a look at it and see. Or send us an email. Our email's right up there. Send us an email and a picture of it, and maybe we can fix it for you. Janet J Dreams joined us on Instagram. Shane Riley. Hey, Shane, thank you for joining us. That's another friend I met in Johnstown at the store. Thank you for joining us on Instagram. I don't know if you're still there. Instagram doesn't tell me if you're actually there or if you just joined for a second and left. But Shane works with one of the school bands in Johnstown, and we're talking about a get together, possibly doing something for uniforms and stuff like that. So I'm excited about that. Let's see here. Shane says hi. Shane is here. Hello. Hello. If you are out there and you're new tuning in, say hi, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. I'm sorry for some people on Facebook. I am not seeing comments, and we've had an issue with Facebook for the last few weeks. Well, last week, I will say. So I don't know why. I'm sorry. If you jump onto YouTube, I'll definitely see it. If you jump onto Instagram, I'll see it. But Instagram's like this big because we stream this way, and Instagram is only this way, so it shrinks us down. So YouTube, you can flip us around and you can watch bigger or on your TV or all that too. Used to be able to watch Facebook on your TV, but not anymore. Susan says, my neighbor in Pensacola, my neighbor is in Pensacola for vacation. Luckily, he will be coming home before the storm hits. Oh yeah, they're talking about a storm, right? Suzanne was saying possible Category 5 hurricane hitting Florida Thursday. We'll have to keep an eye on that because Andrew's mom is in Florida, in Orlando. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. Cheryl, there's Cheryl. Now I'm seeing your comment. I don't know why I may not have before. It says, hi and welcome back, Andrew. Headed out to walk Larry. Thanks for the amazing AG box today, including Ava's Treasure. So much to create with. Thank you for all the support. It was great putting that together. And I've got more for you. So I couldn't fit it all in there. I couldn't get it all out at the same time, but I got more coming for you. So thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. You know, it's an election year. Election years, no matter what way things are going, are rough years for a lot of small businesses. It was that way whenever I worked in the British car parts supplier. Hobby kind of businesses, like British cars, are generally a hobby for people. You're not, it's not your daily driver. Bead stores, although we'd like to believe that we are the most important thing in people's lives because we foster creativity and we help you escape from the doldrums of the world and the hard times in the world, but we're still considered a hobby business. So it does get hard. So we do appreciate all of your support. And we are working hard to get things out to you. I'm catching up today. I've been here all day at the cottage working on shipping, because I feel bad anytime I get a little bit behind. So working on that, getting things out the door. And I've been sublimating. I had an issue with my sublimation printer. So if you ordered some sublimation stuff, it may be delayed. I think my printer dried up a little bit, and I've been trying to fix it a lot and get it back to normal. Well, today it happened. I don't know if I just printed enough finally, but I made some things, and then I made some more things, and those things that I made were darker, and I was like, something is going on here. And so I remade a bunch of things because I can't send out something that's not good. If it looks good, it looked fine. And then when the printer really kicked in, like gave it its all, I was like, okay, I got to redo this. And so I repressed a bunch of stuff. So some of you may see sublimation pins and mugs and things like that going out because I got a chance to really work on stuff and get through it. Norma says, we're beginning my favorite part of the year through December. Me too. This is it. I love this time of year, but I have to go through February because that's my birthday. So now through February, then that's my favorite time of the year. But I do love the holiday season. I'm not a particularly religious person, but I do love the holiday season, and I'm super excited for it this year. Cheryl says, not weird at all. My mom and I would get leaves and iron them in wax paper, and I found them years later in her Bibles. That's so sweet. I love that. I love that that's a thing, right? And it's such a it's not an expensive thing, right? It's something that you did, and leaves a lasting memory, right? And if you want to, you could laminate those later or just keep them as they are. But it's something that is, doesn't cost anything really, or hardly at all. Let's see here. Teresa says, I sat under the trees and gathered leaves, had a fire and burned a paper that I wrote down all of the things I wanted to get rid of. Nice. I like that. I should have done that. I thought about some things that I want to, purge, but I wasn't as actionable as that on it. I should have been. Let's see here. Andrew says, I call it soup weather. Yes, that inside cold weather, right? It's soup weather. That makes it sound good, right? Because who doesn't love some soup? Beth is here, says, happy birthday, Andrew. Yeah, his birthday is on Wednesday officially. So hit up the online store, save some money, and help us to celebrate Andrew's birthday and hopefully go do something. We're talking about maybe going up to Erie and going to the beach at the lake, Lake Erie, or maybe going to the Corning Museum, something, a day trip, trying to figure out what we can do for a day trip. Suzanne says, I ordered twice. Thank you. We appreciate that. Love that. Norma says, I rarely make with carnelian and I don't know why. I've gotten some beautiful strands from you, so I guess it's time to pull them out. Yes, pull those out, Norma. Make something with that carnelian. Ground yourself. Get ready for this wonderful time of the year, right? Andrew says, I would have generational trauma Tuesdays, LOL. Folks used to come every Tuesday and we'd talk it out. Yeah, when Andrew was in the store, I think people did that more with Andrew than they do with me. Andrew is one of those people that for some reason people just open right up to. Tell him all the things. Like all the things. He's heard some stories. Me, they don't do that so much with, but my friend Joora, she comes over and we just talk about everything. And it's nice. Hello, Susie. Good to see you here. Susie Wyatt. Thank you. We have 2 Susies now. Thank you for joining in. Let's see here. Andrew says, I think people see notifications of when people join the room when watching Facebook and say hello, but it won't show you someone shows up in the room. That makes sense. That might be it. Rustic River Finds joined us on Instagram. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Hang out with us for a little bit. Are you new? Hang out. We have some fun. We just chat like this for a little while at the beginning to get things going and let each other get to know each other. That's why I read out a lot of the comments. We can't read them all out, but we try to read a lot of them out so y'all get to know each other, and I say who says what, and because I can see usually I can see all the comments, but if you're watching on Facebook, you'll see some of the Facebook comments depending on where you're watching on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, you only see the YouTube comments. So we like people to intermingle and hang out. So I will read out comments. Let us know where you're tuning in from, how you found us, what you're doing today. We're just chit-chatting as we usually do. Suzanne says, Halloween is life. I know this is your time. I know this is your time. Dale is with us. Hello, Dale. Thank you for joining in. Glad to see you here. Amy, hello, Amy. Thanks for joining in. Says Lenny Kravitz says it's scarf weather. I know. I saw that with his big scarf. I love big scarves, by the way. And so my mom used to crochet more often. And oh, Andrew says that's Jess Italia, who used to work for Vintage. Hello, Jess. Thanks for hanging out with us. Rustic River Finds is in Galena, Illinois. See, Andrew knows all this. I told you, I'm not on Instagram much. I don't know all the Instagram screen names very well. So sorry about that. Good thing Andrew's here to tell me. Because he is on Instagram more than anything. Suzanne says, we do have fun, right? It's good to hang out. It's good to be around people. I sent out an email today about us going live. So hopefully we'll get some new people who are watching and tuning in because of that. And if you are, please let us know in the comments. But we are a fun group of people, I think. We are a good group of people. We are an encouraging, loving group of people. There's no drama, no shade, right? We don't believe in that mean, spirited help or encouragement. So if you are hanging out with us for the first time, welcome, and we're glad you're here. Let us know in the comments. We love to meet new people. We love to welcome you into our group. It is really a good group full of amazing people. We have some of the best people around that support us and support each other. We hang out a lot in the Allegory Gallery Design Challenges group on Facebook. But if you're not on Facebook, you can hang out with us during these lives. It's a really good place just to, get to know like-minded people. Let's see, Janet J Dreams joined us a while ago. I don't know if you're still out there, Janet. I think I missed saying hi. I missed your name. So thank you for joining us if you're still out there on Instagram. But yeah, what's going on with all of you? Other than some weather heading to Florida, anybody in Florida, please take care. Keep an eye on that. But here today, like I said, my day was I'm not going to say my day was boring because my day was very full. I've been working a lot with shipping today, but that's all I've been doing pretty much all day. So I have nothing much to report for me. So what are you doing? Give me your good energy. Let me know what you're up to. Susie says, wonderful people here. That's for sure. That's for sure. I was introduced to you all through the BE era a few years ago, as well as meeting you in person last September. Yes, Cindy, I'm glad you got to come up, and I hope you get to come up again, because that would be fun. We can hang out and BS around the table, right? Just let us know so that we can get Andrew in there. Norma says, I've been listening all afternoon to James on audio. To James on Audible for book club tomorrow. 2 hours to go. Hopefully I'll get it finished. Nothing like waiting until the last minute, right? Yeah, that's me. I understand that. Cindy says, I know we are not looking forward to the next few days of weather. Oh yeah, I don't know. We'll send good energy, right? Send all the good energy out. AG Bead fam's going to be okay. We did that in New Orleans and it went right around pretty much, right? Nothing major happened to our friends out there. So we're gonna send that same good energy out to y'all in Florida. Suzanne says, I've been teaching all day, reading too. Nice. Susie's not really looking forward to the storm later this week. No. Storms, not that kind of storm, right? Cindy says, I would love to, but not this year, maybe next year. And yes, Andrew has to be there, right? We're going to make him. We're going to drag him out now. It's not hard to get Andrew to the store if he's around. That's the thing. We just got to make sure he's around. But he's not always around. So what else is going on? Would you all, okay, so a few people told me that they did things for the autumnal equinox. Did anyone else do anything? Anyone else make anything? I saw some people made some things on in the Allegory Gallery Design Challenges group and shared them. I heard some people made some things and have not yet shared them. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. I made my bracelet, which people seem to like, so thank you all so much. And did anyone else do anything? Is that a day for everyone, or did you just kind of? It was a good Sunday. We had beautiful weather. Suzanne says, I made earrings but have yet to share. See, I knew some people didn't share yet. Although I've not been on Facebook much. So if you shared today, I barely checked my email today. I barely went on Facebook today. I wrote a quick email. I shared a few things on Facebook. And I've been shipping. Teresa says, your bracelet was beautiful. Thank you. Cindy says, nothing special for the equinox here, just feeling the season. It was lovely out yesterday. Yes, it was. We had a beautiful day. I was in Johnstown. It was a beautiful day in Johnstown. The day before, we had some rainstorms, like a big rainstorm that came through. But yesterday, so nice. And I think today was pretty nice, but I was not, I've been inside all day pretty much. I drove around back and forth to the post office once or twice, but that's really about it. That's really about it. And I've got more shipping that I'm going to do. That's why I'm still here at the cottage. I asked Andrew if he could kind of do this live today so that I could usually the live breaks, like I ship and then I go and I do the live and then that's the end of the night, because our lives sometimes last a little while, right? But today I said, Andrew, can you please do the live for me so that, well, for us, so that I can just mostly ship all day. And so he said yes. So he's working on some lots, some surprise lots that he's digging through his collection. I don't even know what are in all these lots. I don't know what he's finding or what he's putting together. So it's a surprise to me too, but I'm sure you will like them. You never know what Andrew's going to find in his collection when he goes through it. Teresa says Sunday and today was beautiful here on Long Island. Nice. Nice. I think it was nice here. I'm trying to remember when I was outside. It was pretty nice. I think it was pretty warm. I usually have my watch on, my Apple Watch, that tells me the temperature. Otherwise, I don't know what temperature it is. But I think it was a pretty nice day today. Yeah, sorry, I'm just making sure. All right, my Instagram stopped. I just want to make sure it's still going. Okay. So what else? What else is going on? We have our sale going on. We're going to try and get away for Andrew's birthday one day this week. That's a goal. I'm going to try and do that. Hopefully we can do something and make it a good birthday for him. Yeah, we want it to be a good birthday. He's been talking about going to like I said, going to the water, going to the beach at some point. So we might go up to Erie. We could visit our friends up in Erie if we do. Matt and Sonia are up in Erie, and that might be a nice thing to do. Cindy says Corning Glass would be cool. I've never been. That's another thing we're considering, because that would be a day drive. We could go up there and see that. So we'll see. We'll see. We've been up to Erie before and we really liked it up there. Like I said, we have friends. Of course, Andrew, like he said, he's like, I have friends everywhere. So I'm sure no matter where we go, we'll be able to get together with friends if we want to. And so that should be really nice. Yeah. So if you missed it earlier, I was talking about some, Norma says it was hot here yesterday and humid. The last gasp of 90 degrees, hopefully, before clouded over and dropped. So I didn't really get outside. Yeah, some places it was hot. People were telling me about that, but here it was pretty beautiful. Corning glasses, Suzanne. Yes, I know. That would be fun, I think. We'll see. We'll see what we do, what we get up to. I wanted to remind people again, we have our sale going on. Happy birthday. No, Happy B-Day Andrew is the code, but there are lots of links all around Facebook. If you want to save, just click that link and it'll put it right into the cart for you. But if you copy Happy B-Day Andrew into the cart, it'll save you 25% off. I think it's everything. I tried to make it everything in the online store. It's not always easy to put the sale on everything, and I don't know why. It's just the way the system works, but it should be on everything. And if it's not, let me know and I'll take a look at it. If you were here a little bit earlier, I was talking about our sublimation station here. Our printer wasn't doing so well, but it is now. It's rocking and rolling now. And so if you have ordered anything like that recently, I'm trying to get those. I got most of them out today, but also, hey, Charlie joined us on Instagram. Hello, Charlie. But also, if you haven't ordered anything yet for the sale, we've got lots of different fun pins based on Andrew's artwork. We've got mugs based on Andrew's designs. So it's lots of fun stuff. Lots of fun stuff out there. So if you've never looked at that, that's something like I think a lot of people, because people think of us for beads and jewelry stuff, but maybe not like accessories like fun pins. So we have a lot of wooden pins that I sublimate onto, and um, we're making plans to maybe do something else too. We have ideas in mind of other sublimation stuff. So we're things are turning in there. Things are turning in there. Susie says, I got a couple pieces of your pottery. Yay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I have a pile of stuff I have to deliver. Susie's our neighbor right next door. And you would think I get her stuff over to her more often, but I have a pile of stuff to deliver to you. So I just have to bring it home from the cottage. And if you ordered pottery in the last, hopefully I saw it, because I have most of my pottery up in the Johnstown store now. I'm displaying it up there for people who walk in to look at it, but it is available in the online store. If you purchase it, I'll bring it back down and ship it out to y'all. Suzanne says, I love my coffee mug. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see here. Charlie says, hello. I have a foot cramp from not drinking water. Friendly hydration reminder. Yes, hydrate, everybody. It's very important. It's important for your whole body, like my heart. When I had AFib and I was getting dehydrated, it's good for any muscle, not just the heart. So yes, hydrate, everybody. So that's not what's in here. I reuse these because I try to be a little eco-sensitive. And I fill these up with water up to about this notch, and then I put juice in this much. So there's not too much sugar in my day, but I try and drink 1 to 2 of these a day and keep myself hydrated. I've been very bad about it. I've only been drinking like half of one a day lately. I'm only down to here right now, so I got to drink the rest of that at least before the end of the day. Cindy's out there and it says, LOL, love that water reminder, right? Charlie says, water buddies, right? Yeah, yeah. Susie says, drink some pickle juice. Yeah, that's supposed to be good. We had another friend, or have another friend, if sometimes she tunes in here, Nettie, in case she's watching the replay. But she used to talk about pickle juice. I think it was Nettie, used to talk about pickle juice all the time. And how good apparently it's good for hydrating and muscle spasms. I have not done it, but I love pickles and I have no problem with pickle juice. So maybe that's, maybe that's a thing we should all be doing a little more of, as long as you like pickles. And even if you don't, Charlie says, I'm on it. Grab the pickle juice, LOL. See, we're going to find out. Charlie, let us know if that helps, how immediately that works, right? Andrew says, we used to drink picklebacks. Yes, we did in our youth time. Picklebacks. You do the shot of something and then chase it with some pickle juice. Pickle on the back side of the shot. I don't remember what those shots usually were. Maybe that means I had a good time, but yeah, it used to be a pickleback at the bar. Good times, right? Cindy says, I tried to run on the treadmill for the first time in forever. Water is life. Cindy says, oh, you young and wild people, right? I was a little wild when I was young. I will admit, I may not seem like it now. I'm very calm and composed all the time, right? Yeah, right. But I was young and wild when I was young. And I used to party pretty hard when we'd go out dancing. I liked to go dancing. That was one of my favorite things to do. And we haven't done that in a while. But I used to love to go out dancing. And my friends and I in college, we would go out dancing. I think it was every Sunday night. Sunday night was when these are the days in the country. It wasn't really the country. This was like in State College at Penn State. But there was one gay bar, and that was a regular bar. There was no room in that for dancing. It was like you had the bar, and the bar curved around a slight corner, and you had the sitting space at the bar, and you had like 2 feet all around. That was the whole bar. That was the whole place. And it would get jam-packed sometimes. But the club, the downstairs club next door, which was a big space, had a full dancing floor, full dance floor. You know, I think it had 2 bars, a DJ booth, and, you know, seating as well, bench seating, like, I don't know, bench seating. And that would turn into the gay club every Sunday night. Every Sunday night they hosted a gay night. Because every other night it was not. And it would mix sometimes, but still back then it was nice to have our own space, which it kind of, you know, it's nice to have your own space sometimes. And so we would go down there and dance hard. We danced hard. It was like our jobs. And we were a little bit wild, my friends and I. Let's see here. Susie says olive juice is good too. That's sorry everybody who likes olives, but I find them revolting. But yes, any juice that has vinegar in it, Teresa says, is good for the body. When home, I drink my homemade vinaigrette after I finish my salad. I like a vinaigrette, and I will lap up a vinaigrette too, I must say. Hello, Lennis. Lennis has joined us. So we did sake bombs. I've done some of those. I've done some of those in my life. Andrew said it was whiskey at the Bushwick Country Club. Yeah, I didn't drink too many of those. I'm not a whiskey fan. Every once in a while I would have some, but it usually was, I had to be well into the night to accept whiskey. Or I've also done, what's the other one? What's the other one I used to do? I don't know. All these things that are supposed to be like fancy drinks, you know? Cognac, that's the other one, cognac. I had to be way into the night to get to those because they were not things that I would normally drink. Andrew says, no martinis for you. No. The olives, I would sometimes order a martini with a lemon, like a lemon, what do you call that? Lemon peel, lemon zest. But yeah, no. Let's see, what's everyone saying here? How much do I drink? I had about 2 shots worth. A pickle juice? How much? Everybody who's in on that pickle juice stuff, how much pickle juice should she drink for a foot cramp? Cindy says, maybe take Andrew dancing sometime on Wednesday. Maybe, if we could find a place. Our Johnstown bar isn't open for dancing on Wednesdays, I don't think. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe there's something up in Erie. Chug, 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 says Andrew. I know. It used to be bad. Cindy says, I feel that. To Charlie, also, I don't drink much alcohol, if ever, but I've had a martini once and was like, what is this? Why does it taste like eating an evergreen? Yeah. Andrew says, no dancing for me. Yeah, probably not the best idea. We don't want to inflame the gout. It's like the things you have to talk about when you start to get older, right? Used to love to go out dancing, never worried about anything, drank the night away, never had any issues. And now it's like, can't go dancing, don't drink anymore. We don't survive the night if you start drinking. Not all in one piece. And then you worry about the gout or the heart issues or the something else, right? Something else. Teresa says the pickle juice, a shot glass full or more. So 1 shot glass full or more. Charlie says, we can all have pickle juice and a healthy party. There we go. Electrolytes for all, says Cindy. Charlie says, I'm allergic to alcohol, so college was a struggle bus. Yeah, I had to, like, I didn't have to watch, but I had to watch. There's some alcoholism in my family. And I probably did binge drink. Um, it was something, when I gave up alcohol, it was not very difficult. And I do still have a glass once in a while if we go somewhere and we're celebrating something sometimes, but I don't drink regularly, and it's probably months in between when I have a drink. But I was always concerned because alcoholism and addiction run in our family. So I didn't really do much anything else other than drinking in college, and because I'd seen a lot before that, and I was not going to attempt anything else. But I probably went a little hard on the alcohol sometimes. Probably did, but tried to always be safe about it, and always had friends around, and generally people who didn't drink much or didn't drink at all. But I don't know. I don't know how fun it was for them whenever I was drinking and dancing and they were sober. But I hope it wasn't too bad. I hope it wasn't too bad, because sometimes I'm sure I could be annoying. Let's see, Michelle is here. Anna is here. Hello, hello. Thank you all for joining us. Lena says, hi, Anna. I made earrings with your silk cocoon connectors today. Nice. I like it when y'all cross promote, right? Y'all get to learn about each other and do things and find out use each other's components. And it's so nice. It's so nice. So Andrew, by the way, got back. He's back from his weekend away. And he was up in Providence, Rhode Island. I'll let him tell you about that a little bit, probably more, because I have some information about it, but he has, the full story about what went on. But he went up for Spark, which is the BIPOC cohort of the Society of Inclusive Blacksmiths. And they had their first get together up there at the Steel Yard in Providence. And he had a good time. I think he had a really good time, and I was glad he got to go. And they really, I think, started something that is not really done yet, or at least done very much of. So that's really good. But I'll let him tell you more about that. But he is back. He made it back late last night, and we made some dinner. I was not baking. I was cooking, roasting. I was roasting, that's the word. I was like, what do you call it when you're baking, but it's vegetable? Roasting. I roasted some vegetables, and Beyond Burger, I think, the company Beyond Meat, fake meat, they came out, at least, I don't know if they just came out with it or if it's just new to us, but they have ribs that are fake meat ribs, and they're barbecue. And so we tried those, and I think they were really good. I really enjoyed them. So I made those with some roasted vegetables and tried to time it for his arrival. So he got in safe and sound. Andrew said, you used to start speaking other languages when you were tipsy. I did. If people don't know, I studied Spanish and French in college, but I also studied German and Japanese. And when I would drink, my filters of, possible humiliation, because I always get weird. I'm kind of a rigid person sometimes, and so it's hard for me. I think that's what held me back a little bit. Like, I used to study languages, I love them, but I was always afraid to talk them, and I still don't talk them that much, even when people try to talk with me, because I feel intimidated to speak them, even though I was pretty good at French, especially. But when the filter went away, I would speak with anyone in any language I possibly could. which was kind of fun for me because it was actually getting to use it when in my normal life, I was always too timid or worried about making a fool of myself, even though that's the way you're supposed to learn a language. And I tell people that. Anyway, yeah. So I would speak other languages when I was tipsy or drinking, fully tipsy, fully drinking. Charlie says, yes, no more cramps. Also, I didn't time it, but my foot cramping is gone. Nice. Pickle juice worked. Good to hear about the cramp disappearing. That sounds like a nice dinner. Yes, it was a good dinner, I think. It was a good dinner. Susie says, Andrew, glad you had a safe trip home. Anna says, the best compliment is someone using something you made. Yes, using it or wearing it, right? Because I don't make a lot of components. I'm starting to make components. I'm making some ceramic pendants and things like that in my pottery class. And it's lovely when people buy them, and I can't wait to see what people make with them. Not too many people have shown me things that they've made with them yet, so I'm excited about that. I got to get more of them out into the world, though. I got a bunch of those to ship out soon, too. Charlie says, need to try those ribs. Also would love to hear you speak other languages. It's been a long time since I've spoken any, and that's the problem. That's the problem. Anna says, haha, I relate to the filter stories, right? The filter comes down. That's the main reason I think that I actually liked drinking. I know people drink for different reasons, but for me, it allowed me to feel like I didn't have the constant anxiety all the time. And so it really helped me to be more social. As they say, it's a social lubricant, right? That's what alcohol can be. But it got rid of the anxiety about worrying about so much what other people thought. And I just did it. And I was more assured of myself when I would, because I didn't let that get in my way. I second guess myself and third guess and fourth guess and fifth guess myself a lot. But trying to get better, and as I get older, the filters are starting to fall a little bit more. I've been told that happens in your 40s and 50s and 60s. So I'm entering the point in my life where everyone has always said, once you turn this age, it starts to happen. If you are that age out there, maybe you can say if that's true or not. But I have heard that most people don't say in their 30s. Most people say starting in their 40s, they started to lose their filter. Did that happen to any of you, if you're that age yet? Let me know. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Norma says, I'm the same way with language. I worked in a kitchen in Germany my last summer of college, and they used to ply me with alcohol to get me to speak. Yeah, so here's it's one of those things. I spent part of a summer in France with a family who, they were the in-laws of my professor, and they wanted me to help them learn English, and they would help me practice my French. They spoke no English. None at all. The husband, Jacques, he spoke some Spanish as well as French. Janine, she spoke no other language other than French. Their daughter was in, she was in, what do they call it there? She worked like in commerce. I don't know what it would be here, but she was in like advertising and commerce for wine in France, and she spoke some English, and the most English that anyone in the family spoke. And so when I was there, I was the only one. I knew enough French, and I was only in French like these were, I probably had maybe 2 semesters or 3 semesters of French. I was in linguistics, French linguistics 101. So I had enough that I could work in the French linguistics, but it was probably only maybe 2 or 3 semesters of French. And so I was staying with them, and it was all up to me to figure out how we could communicate, because they spoke no English and a little bit of Spanish. And my Spanish was rusty at that point. I had Spanish all through high school, but my Spanish class in high school was one that we never spoke Spanish. It's so weird. It was all spoken in English, and we learned the Spanish words and we took tests in Spanish and all that, but we never actually had a class fully taught in Spanish. I don't think, not once. And I had 4 years of that. So we never actually practiced speaking very much. And so I didn't know much. I knew Spanish, but I didn't know enough to probably get by. And because of those failures in Spanish, I considered them failures, because I didn't learn things that I should have. So everything that I was missing in Spanish, I focused on in French. And so I knew much more French, and I spoke it better than my Spanish. And so when I was staying with a family, it was, I think I was there probably a month of just like speaking French. I would end the day with headaches because it was like pulling this knowledge out every time. And it got easier and easier as the time went on. There were probably some days I was very grouchy. And I've always been sorry about that, because there was probably days I was just like, I cannot do this anymore. And I spent one day I got to spend with their daughter who spoke English. And so we spoke English that whole day. And she, at the end of the day, she's like, I don't know how you're doing this, because I have a headache. I don't know how you do this every day when you're with my parents. So she got it. But I left France speaking very good French. I was in the south of France, and not a lot of people, like, you went to the grocery store or the post office, any of the shops, as much as they say that, people are more bilingual, it's true, but they did not speak much. In the south there where we were, they did not speak much English, and no one. So everywhere we went, I had to use French. And so I got really pretty good at French, and I came back and I'll never forget, I did a presentation in one of my French classes the semester I came back, and there were people in the class that, like, literally their jaw dropped, because they were like, how did he go from that to this over the summer? Like, they didn't know I went away. They didn't know that I did this. And these were people, like, their families speak French, and they knew they were taking French because it was easier for them, because their families already knew it. They knew it. They spoke it. And they were just like amazed. So I went through all that. I was very good at this. Is all to say I was very good at French. And then I got a job in New York City for a French clothing boutique owned by a French woman from Bordeaux, and her husband from England, who spoke French. And he spoke French with an English accent. And I was still too intimidated. I worked for them for like a year and a half. I was still too intimidated to ever speak French with them. They went on vacation, and I had to take an order from one of the companies that they bought from in France. And that company told them that I speak French very well, but I was still too intimidated to speak with them on most occasions. We had a house party once with them. They hosted a party for us, and I think I spoke a little bit there, and that was like it, because I had a little bit of drinking. Anyway, let's see here. Cindy says, speaking a non-native language can be difficult. I struggle with the anxiety surrounding it too. Forced assimilation. That's what it was, right? Cindy speaks Vietnamese. I wasn't sure if you did, Cindy, or not. And I always get weird about asking people. Like, you don't want to assume that that people speak a certain thing. But Cindy says, it is so hard for me to say things correctly. See, I've never really noticed that. So I didn't know if you spoke another language or not. Cindy says, oh, not well at all. Okay, I didn't know. Norma says it's easier if they don't speak English and you are forced to speak, less embarrassing somehow, right? Because you're doing something at least that they can't do, right? So if you're making mistakes, at least you're like, well, you can't do this at all, right? So in your brain, it's a little bit easier. It's a little bit easier when, I don't know, it's easier to tell yourself like, okay, they can't do this, so they're not gonna make fun of me because I'm the only one that can pull this together, right? Somehow. But when when it's somebody, especially somebody, because I used to know a lot of people who were polyglots, and a polyglot, if you don't know, is somebody who speaks multiple languages and generally speaks them very well at least a conversational level, if not a fluent level. And so I used to know a lot of polyglots, or at least bilingual or trilingual people. And even though I think I could have really been that if I just let myself go, because I do have a fairly easy time learning languages sometimes, but I never just let myself do it. And around those people who could speak multiple languages, even though they knew what it was like, and there was no reason to have any weirdness about it, it was still weird for me because I have these weird, anxiety things. But it's starting, I think it's starting to go away a little bit with age, a little bit. Teresa says, I speak French, but not well. I am learning Italian now. That's not, I would have loved to learn Italian. I will never forget, I was in French class. I think it was French class, maybe Japanese. I can't remember which class it was, but right next door was an Italian class. And it was like an Italian 101, like a beginner Italian class. And I only saw the teacher, the professor, like once or twice. I don't know for sure if he was Italian or not, but he spoke Italian with the gusto that you would, like a stereotypical Italian. Like you could hear him down the hall when the class started, and he would be in there, and you would walk by and his hands were going and he'd be talking, and I was like, I want to take his class. That's the Italian class I want. And but I never got to take Italian in college. I wanted to, but I spent 5 years in college because I double majored in French and Spanish, and I had enough going on, that I had so much going on that I had college credits from high school for math class that I was going to transfer to college, for a math class, and I never actually transferred those credits. And my French, what do you call them? The people who help you, guide you through this school, whatever, I forget what they're called. But she's like, you went to France, we're just going to use that as a class and a credit. And she replaced my math credit with that. And I was like, okay, that's easy. But yeah, the one language I was going to take was that I was this close to signing up for, but it didn't fit in my schedule, was Swahili, because I thought Swahili is a pretty language and I wanted to learn it. Advisor, thank you, Norma. Yes, my French advisor. And I really wanted to see what Swahili was about because I listened to some music that was in Swahili. There was and I forget her name now. Is it Angelique Kidjo? I think some of her songs are in Swahili. And at that point in my life, I was really into her and listening to her music. And so I wanted to learn it, but it didn't fit in my schedule. I would have had to like spend another year in college moving things around, and I didn't want to do that. Let's see. Charlie saying, Cindy, that's impressive. How did you learn? Cindy says, I write more Vietnamese than I speak Vietnamese. I can comprehend things, but I'm very used to my parents' cadence and blended North and South Viet dialects. See, I don't know anything about that. That's interesting. The only Asian language I did was Japanese, and Japanese is not a tonal language, which is why I chose it, because I was not sure. I feel like sometimes I'm a little tone deaf. I can't sing at all. I didn't want to try a tonal language. And so Japanese was one. And I had learned that Japanese vowels are generally said the same as Spanish vowels. So I was like, okay, I can get on with that. The pronunciations are similar. Let's try it. So I took 2 semesters of Japanese. Cindy says, oh, vibrant Italian. Yes, very vibrant Italian. Charlie says, that's cool. You can write and that your parents speak. How do you like Duolingo? I've heard mixed opinions. Yeah. Has anyone else tried any other language learning things? I don't know how we got into language stuff. Just hear BSing about things. But I like this. This is my thing. I love language. I could talk about this stuff all the time. Teresa, how are you learning Italian? I can't remember. I think you said at one point, was it? It's not Rosetta Stone, right? What's the other one? There's Duolingo. What's the other one a lot of people use these days? I've tried some of them, but I can't remember. So Teresa, how are you doing that? Cindy said, it's good for Spanish and Japanese. It has a microphone function where you can repeat the phrases back. Yeah, I think I did that. I think I've tried that before. Babel. Babel is the other. People are saying Babel. I thought there was another one too. Maybe it's not anymore. Pimsleur is one I used to use. I liked Pimsleur, but Pimsleur was completely auditory. There was no visual learning in any way. So if you just wanted to learn how to speak, Pimsleur was really good. I don't know if any of you ever tried Pimsleur or not. Jennifer said, recently someone told me that children who hear more than one language while in the womb have better aptitude for learning languages. I don't know if that's true or not still. I definitely did not. My family, they spoke English. There was no other language, but I do think I have an aptitude for it. But I don't know if that's true. I do know that the French professor who sent me to France, she was, well, her husband, which I did have later in a linguistics class too, her husband, because it was her in-laws, was from France. She studied and I think was from Quebec. So her French was not the same as his French, and she spoke English natively where he spoke French natively. So when they had a child, they would, from the day the child was born, they would alternate. One day was completely French, mostly spoken by him, so that their, I think it was their daughter, would learn French from France and learn, from a native speaker. And then the other day, the alternate day, would be English by her, mostly speaking, so that the child would start learning from a very young age. And I don't know how that carried out. I've lost touch with them, so I don't know how that ending up. But I'm sure that their daughter, I think it was a daughter, was probably very bilingual by a very early age. Andrew says, sometimes Pimsleur comes up when I ask Siri to play music. Yeah, I ripped all the Pimsleur CDs onto my iTunes at one point. And so when you ask Siri, sometimes it tells you, it comes up with various lessons, mostly in German, because I was learning German with Pimsleur mainly at one point. And I had Russian, which I can only pretty much say that I don't speak Russian in Russian. I don't speak Russian very well. I learned how to say that. I used to be able to ask more things, but which that actually came in handy one time. I was working for Apple, and we were doing iPhones, and when iPhones first came out, it was a very difficult process, kind of compared to how it is now. But they were tied to AT&T only when they first came out. And when working at the Apple store, you had to go through a special device to go through the AT&T system to look people up. And there were always people that were trying to buy extra iPhones on their plan to sell them later at a higher price, because the iPhone was so valuable back then. So when we were working at the Apple store, you were supposed to watch out for people who might be trying to do this. And then they gave that up. They're like, because it started looking like you were profiling people, and that was a bad thing, of course. But people still had this in their heads that the Apple people were going to look at them like, you're doing this, when really we weren't anymore. And so there was a family that came up, and they said they lost all their phones in a fishing accident. And I'm like, okay, if that's a true story, that's a true story. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But I was like, and they were speaking Russian to somebody on the other line. Like, they were trying to call somebody because it was the account was in somebody's name, whatever. And I was looking at them while they were talking, and they're like, "You don't speak Russian, do you?" And I said in Russian that I don't speak Russian very well. And so probably my accent gave it away that no, I do not speak Russian. But they also looked at me a little bit dubiously, like, does he though? Does he speak Russian? So that was kind of funny. But I had just learned that like not long before that. My grandmother spoke Lithuanian, says Jennifer. Welcome, Jennifer, by the way. With my mother, and I was pretty good with languages. Nice. Yeah, my my great-grandmother, who I knew when I was young, she was still around for a few years. She spoke mostly only Slovak. And my grandmother spoke some Slovak with her, but my grandmother had mostly been raised English speaking. And so my grandmother knew more Slovak, I think, than she let on sometimes, but I did not hear it much around the house. And my great-grandmother couldn't really speak English. So when we were around, it was hard to communicate with her. But I actually never really realized that. I was so young. I didn't actually realize that she wasn't speaking, because she would say hello, and that she knew enough that way. But I didn't realize that when we were probably yapping back at her as kids, that she would nod her head and smile, but talk very much. Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you. I can hear you. How about everyone else? Can you hear? How's it going?
So I kind of have Instagram up here. I don't
Can
know.
you do it at the same time?
We'll see. I don't have it up the way that we have it up usually, where it ends, where you have to end. So you might have to leave that going while I talk.
Yeah, I'll leave it going on this side here.
But I can see comments.
Charlie can hear you. Cindy can hear you. Good.
Yeah, I can see those comments.
Okay, good.
Hello, everyone. Teresa says, hey, Andrew. Hello. Norma says, hi, Andrew. Hello. Anna says, happy birthday. Thank you. Lena says, hi. Hello. So my birthday is on Wednesday, and we've been thinking about things we can do that are like a day trip that would be fun, that we can get back to work. Maybe write off.
It's always about that, right?
Yeah.
Getting back to work.
The small business hustle, as they say. So we've been thinking about things to do. Last year was kind of a bum year for my birthday, so I want to do something more fun and festive. So we're gonna try to do that.
Stay away from the internet, maybe a little bit.
Well, we'll see. I always like to hang out with my friends on the internet, though, on my birthday too. So
yeah,
that's the rub there. We're just gonna put up our shields this year.
Suzanne says, get another cat. No way. Nah, don't even put that in his head.
Maybe. Maybe we'll swap out Tallulah.
Lena says that Britney song is trending. Which Britney song is that?
Your favorite, William, probably.
You Better Work, Bleep.
Uh-huh.
That's that is actually that's probably my favorite Britney song. I put that on when I need
He
some
puts
energy.
that on, and I'm like, all right, I gotta go.
It gives me a little bit of energy. I like I like the club music a little bit, and it's kind of clubby. It's got the beat.
Well, I think yeah, it's fun for you.
It's not Andrew's
I like
music.
that for everything has a time and a place. And I am sure that I listen to music that's not your favorite.
I like a lot of your music though.
It grows on you. You don't have a choice.
Right?
It,
Anna says Toxic. That's not the one I was thinking of. Work Bleep is the one I was thinking of, and I could see that probably trending.
apple picking. That's too much work.
He's like, I don't want to do work. He's like, I want to go
No,
relax for a day. He's like, I do work every day.
I used to work at a fruit picking place. Did I ever tell you that?
I don't think I knew that.
So I worked in high school, not for very long, for a strawberry picking place in Oviedo, Florida. And basically, it was just yelling at kids all day. So, not my favorite.
Yeah.
Corn maze. Hey, you know what I saw that I'm interested in, but I want to go. I don't know if it's still possible to go, but on my way up to Snow Farm, I pass a sunflower maze.
Oh.
And that's so cool. So maybe if they're still going, maybe we'll stop there. But apparently they're itchy though. So you don't want to get like caught up in the maze because it's itchy scratchy time.
They do have those little fiber furs on them, right?
We grew sunflowers, but I never noticed them being itchy. But I also didn't try to like run through them with my bare skin. So
No.
Jennifer said that's hard work, the strawberry picking. Yeah, I didn't actually pick the strawberries. I was there to monitor people and weigh out the fruit, and yell at the kids for eating them while they were picking the fruit. So, not, that's all right. But I do love apples, and it's something that I can eat. So who knows? Maybe if there's an apple farm, we'll orchard, we'll stop by and buy some pre-picked apples.
There you go.
I think, don't you also have to let apples mature? Or can you just eat them?
Huh? Apples?
Yeah, I thought you like put them in a cold cellar for like a week or something, and then they get really sweet and delicious.
No, they can get sweet and delicious on the tree too, but it just depends the time of year.
Jennifer says buy stuff. That's also one of my favorites.
Yes, it is.
That's like my love language is buying things.
I like to buy.
Gifts are my love language. That's one of them.
It definitely is one of them.
Plus acts of service.
He's got a lot of love languages.
I don't actually like words of affirmation. Yeah. I feel like that makes me deeply uncomfortable. Touch is also not one of mine. Like there are some people who are like touching me this weekend. I was like, but that's fine. I mean, it was nice, but it wasn't like nasty touch, but it was just like they'd like touch my arm and stuff.
Yeah, some people are more touchy.
Yeah, I'm not one of them.
I am if I drink. That's another thing that I get. I'll like touch people on the shoulder, or like I'm more contact when I drink.
Oh, when there's alcohol involved, then that's different. But I'm not allowed to drink.
No.
He said running through the sunflower sounds like a romantic case of dermatitis. Maze. Correct. No, thank you for the dermatitis. I have enough skin issues for that. I
Romantic
don't need
dermatitis.
yeah, I don't need extra. I don't need romantic dermatitis.
No,
No.
let's not do that.
Um, Jennifer says, I meant by Apple stuff. Like Apple computer stuff? That's not me. That's William.
He's like, I don't want any of that.
I know. I have no interest in that. I I mean, I guess, it'd be nice to like put my phone on the business plan so that we can stop paying two separate phone bills. Because I paid off my phone. Oh, Jennifer says no apple cider. I like apple cider. I don't
Yeah,
like
that's
it when they
good.
put too many spices. That's the thing. When I like pumpkin spice, but I don't like it when they get too heavy-handed with the spice because then it
No,
feels like they're licking the spice jar. And I don't really, I like cinnamon, I like clove, I like all that business, but maybe not so much because sometimes people get hog wild, and then you're like,
it's true.
and
No, I
also
like.
sometimes if you get too wild with that, it causes diarrhea. So I don't need like pumpkin spice diarrhea.
No, I like
It's true.
cider. I love cider, but it does have to have low content in spices.
But you know what? Did you know that the spice trade, people used to like smoke spices and they'd get like high off of them?
That's what they say.
I was like, how much are you smoking? Because that seems
That's a
like a
lot of
large
cardamom.
amount. But I don't know. I've never tried it, so who knows? But
No,
I did in the old times when they had clove cigarettes. I did enjoy that, but
I
that's
used to
bad
do
for
that.
you.
They are, but they did give you a little bit of a high.
Did they?
So I felt like they did.
Did that your lips getting numb?
They did that too.
I don't think that's a good thing. Uh, they says y'all like cute animals. There's some cute animal rescues and farms around. Maybe. I know y'all were talking about playing with pigs, but Cindy was at the when Ava was here. But I
Yeah.
don't know. That sounds like smells like poop. And I would like to be away from the poop smells.
Very poop adverse.
Yeah, not my favorite. I grew up kind of country style, and so we used to, like my grandparents and my dad and stuff. He grew up on a farm, and my grandparents were farmers. So we used to do like farm related activities. And I mean, I have somewhat positive memories of that, but I also have some trauma time stories. So, yeah, that's not necessarily my thing.
Yeah.
Unless they're really cute, and then you get to
You
like
do love
split
cute
them.
cute baby animals.
Correct, that's true. But what baby animals are born in the fall? And also, what am I not going to accidentally squash? Like Lenny from Of Mice and Men. I don't want to get where I get in trouble for like grinding my teeth to powder.
No, don't do that. He
Cindy
gets
says, yeah,
overcome with
solid
cute.
nutmeg. It's a thing. People would poison people with nutmeg to give them the tummy turbulence. So be careful when you're making that eggnog pie. You don't want to have the troubles.
No.
Suzanne says people burn copal and amber. And Lena says you can get high smoking nutmeg, but you will throw up the whole time. That
Oh, fun.
sounds like not good.
No,
And then something about oxygen deprivation. All
probably
right,
the
I don't know
core.
how to do this. How do you get out of
I'm gonna let me see if I can remove myself. Bye, everybody. I'm gonna go ship some more. Let me. Oops. Wait. Which one is it?
Oh,
Here it is.
they said, oh no, no worries. I was gonna suggest Lily Mountain alpacas. Are these the ones that spit? I don't want nothing that spits at me.
All right. Bye,
Some
everybody.
people like it. I was watching this thing about this person who's getting bullied, and their bully used to spit on them, and then they were saying that they kind of liked it, and they're like, well, everybody has their things, right? And then Charlie says, I like being able to see both of you. It's fun, isn't it? Usually we're like conjoined twins. So oh, that's a stink bug. Um, so anyways, they said, oh, that's llamas. The llamas are the ones that spit. Oh, so if you see down here, I don't know if y'all can see that still, but it says happy birthday, Andrew, or happy B-Day, Andrew. And you can save 25% on the online store, and that will help offset the cost of B-Day fun. Let me see if I can take that off so that you can actually see what we're going to talk about tonight. So I did get to go to Providence this weekend. It's a project that I've been working on for about a year now. It originally started as a conversation with the Society of Inclusive Blacksmiths about how to make it even more inclusive. And so it, people started talking, and we all started kind of discussing what our ideal kind of situations would be. And from that, it turned into a 3-year project. And so it's kind of cool in the sense that, something that we don't really have a track record with at that time ended up picking up a lot of steam, and some important organizations were really keen on fostering that. And so I went to Providence to go to the Steel Yard. Our keynote speaker was David Harper Clemens, who, if you don't know who that is, he's a super talented artist, and he can do just about almost anything. He does blacksmithing and works with pewter and works with fine metals and does mixed media techniques. He's really fascinating. And it was such a joy to be able to see him and get to meet him. And he did a presentation on working with eggshells. And I'm going to make a piece using that technique. I have that in my mind as something that I want to do pretty soon. So I'm going to try to do that. And then the rest of the weekend, I gave a little quick demo on making name tags out of metal. And I think that was a real hit. People seem to enjoy that. We did a little bit of metal stamping, and I also did um, a a little tutorial on some quick powder coating, which I think only one person ended up doing the powder coating, which is fine. But yeah, it was cool. And then Kieran and Talon did a mindful forging demo. So it was all about how to blacksmith and not injure yourself. Because a lot of times in these kind of spaces, we're kind of told to like produce as much as possible and work as hard as you can, and you can actually damage your body that way. So they talked about like the ergonomics of that. So that was really cool. And then Van Lola did a demo on wax working, and we got a welding demo. And so there was just a lot of really wonderful things. The Steel Yard is a really cool facility. If you haven't been there, it's such a cool space. If you're up in Providence, it's got a blacksmithing studio, a jewelry studio, a ceramic studio, and a welding space. They also have a public works project based place where they do bike racks and things for the city. And it's really cool space. I have been there before, but we didn't really go into the facilities. We mostly kind of like hung outside. And they had like a little market thing going on. So we went to that during the SNAG conference, and that was really cool. I really like the Steel Yard, and I also like what they're doing for people of color and people who are historically marginalized. So they're doing a lot of really cool things there. And I'm so glad that that was kind of our first experience. Of course, it's one of those things where, we had originally planned for like 100 people to come, but then we realized, that probably wouldn't be like feasible. So we scaled back a lot, and we had about 20 people come to the retreat, and that was lovely. It was just the right number to start with. And I think that we'll learn from that, and we'll be able to um, tailor our future events. And I think that will be really lovely. And it was just great. I mean, when I take a lot of classes, I take a lot of classes, and sometimes I'm the only person of color in those classes. And it's one of those things where, in most cases it's fine. People don't really give me a hard time, but there have been some times where I felt like an outsider and like I wasn't welcome. So it was definitely such a treat to be around people who are like me. And even though we all come from different cultures, there was still this commonality. And I think that was a lovely thing. And I'm actually going to start talking with some other groups about doing similar retreats that are for other marginalized groups. So I think it'll be fun. All right. Cindy says, "Oh, what a good lineup of demos and people teaching." So next year, Cindy, the plan is to have it at Touchstone, which is not far away. And if we can keep it free, you should come because you're a BIPOC metalsmith. So you should check it out. Keep your eyes peeled for that. It's Spark Metal Artist on Instagram. So that's the main place of what it's about. So check it out. All right. So for tonight's live, we've got some surprise lots. There's all kinds of things in these lots. A lot of stones, there's metal, there's all kinds of stuff in them. And I tried to kind of price things affordably. So I knocked down a lot of prices. And hopefully you'll like it. So there's gemstones, there's all kinds of stuff. I did try to put some autumnal kind of color schemes together. So hopefully y'all enjoy that. I know some people are like, I hate brown, but there's some nice things, and hopefully y'all will enjoy them. All right, so I'm gonna flip this around and then we'll get started. How about it? Yeah. All right, you're gonna see the ceiling for a minute. Don't get distraught. I'm still here. Um, and my camera's kind of weird, but we'll make it work. All right, settings, camera, and then I'm going to turn the camera to the back ultra wide camera. And there we go. And then I'll turn this on. I don't generally turn that light on until after because it kind of sometimes it makes for it gets hot, and I don't like to be overly warm. I know I'm sounding all prima donna, y'all. I don't like animal poop and getting high on nutmeg, but that's the way. All right, so let me get the other light and we'll turn that on as well, which will also make it nice and hot. And then, let me see. Well, that's what we're going to do. All right, so here's the drill, y'all. Y'all probably know how to do this, but I'm going to let you know how to do it once again. So for tonight's live, we've got to claim any of these. You'll send an email to info@allegorygallery.com and be sure to include the lot number. We have one lot tonight of each lot, so there are no multiples of the lots tonight. So it's done first come, first serve. send us an email to info@allegorygallery.com. And the other thing about that is if you're a new customer or you've recently moved, please send us your current shipping address. That's super helpful so we can get those items out to you and you're not like, where's my stuff? So that's the way. And then the other thing about this is, yes, you have to use it, send it in the email, and it's super easy. Just add us to your address book. And I know sometimes the first time that people do it, they're a little bit nervous about it, but I think it'll be fine. All right. Michelle says, I used to hate brown, but now I use it with blue, gray, and green. Oh, good. So we'll have some stuff tonight. All right. So these are going to be SL lots. So this is surprise lot number 1. And you get this really cool, it's a stretchy bracelet, but you can take it apart. And this alone is probably worth the price of admission, but there's more to it. So this is a lodolite and or a hydroquartz. Sometimes it just depends on who you're talking to. But it's a quartz that has a lot of inclusions in it, and I think this is so cool. Um, and I think they're lovely. It's got a lot of things. There's greens and browns and kind of speckles in that. So you get a little stretchy bracelet of that. I would probably take that apart. And then you also get a strand. This is called New Jade, also called Serpentine. And they're these elongated kind of rectangles. And the rounds measure approximately 12 millimeters. And then these ones are, let me zero this business out, approximately 13 by 4 by 5, somewhere around there. That. And then you also get the strand of this serpentine slash new jade nuggets. So you get 2 full strands, and then this one. And then you also get this filigree piece, which is really cool. It looks like a textile to me. So this is SL1, and you get 1 strand like that of those nuggets of the serpentine, 1 strand the elongated rectangle beads, and this it's a stretchy bracelet of the lodolite slash hydroquartz, and then you also get that filigree. So that's SL1, $14. And if you're interested in that, send us to an email at info@allegorygallery.com. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next surprise lot. Hopefully, y'all like these surprises. I think they're fun. I was trying to clear out some things and make some space in the office. We have so much stuff in here that sometimes it's hard to walk. And it would be nice to be able to walk around. How did that go on? The scale, for some reason, the shipping scale went off. I actually know how to turn that off. Oh, here, I turned it off. All right. So up next, we have SL2. And this is a great deal for y'all who likes some artisan glass. So first you get a strand of crystal rondelles. Those are cool, whatever. But these ones, I hoarded these, and I'm giving you a great deal on these. These are David Christensen furnace glass, and then there are the rainbows. I was going to use this and make this like into pride jewelry, but this is SL2, only $20. and you've got these kind of teardrop shapes. You've got this like round rondelle. You have triangles. Oh, I see a claim for SL1. Thank you so much. And I see multiple claims for SL2. So thank you so much. This is now claimed. I appreciate it. Yeah, so thank you. And there's all kinds of goodies in there. If you do like David Christensen's art class, stay tuned because we have that coming up next. All right. SL3, $20. You get this partial strand of black onyx. It's a faceted round. You get this strand of some crystal rondelles. And you also get all of these David Christensen furnace glass. They're kind of barrel beads, but they've got black with rainbows. I was gonna make this into a series of bracelets. Just string it on some leather and put it through there and use this as kind of like the adjustable closure. And yeah, so you got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 of these David Christensen rainbow beads furnace glass. And that's SL3. And if you're interested in claiming those, please send us an email at info@allegorygallery.com. All right. So no claims for that so far, but I don't know if my email is delayed. But some really cool things. Usually he would sell the stuff by the gram. So you would wait in line while he would like scoop it into bags like candy and weigh it out. And sometimes it would take forever for people to kind of check out. So I didn't complain too much because then they would force to be to look at the stuff I was trying to sell while they were waiting in line. And these round onyx, faceted round onyx, are about 6 millimeter. And you get approximately, you get about 7.5 inches worth of these black onyx beads. So those are fun. I think those go really well with that, don't you? Those David Christensen. This is furnace glass. So they're made in the way that like a lot of Venetian cane work is done, where they would roll it out into cane work. And it's almost done like when they blow the glass and then they chop it up and make it like this into the beads. I don't know if he's still making stuff. And then this is just some faceted crystal. I think Chinese crystal, but it's still fun, pretty. All right, I'm going to move on. That has not been claimed yet. That's SL3, $20. I'm surprised that one didn't get claimed, y'all, because those are hard to come by. But if they don't get claimed, that's all right. I'll keep it. I have no problem with it. Up next is SL4, $12. I've got a strand of black agate tubes. I have a little baggie, a mixed assortment of rose quartz rounds. There's all, I think 2 different sizes of rose quartz rounds in there. I'm not going to take that out because it'll be a mess. You also get, we got a claim for SL3. Thank you so much. Another strand of these clear crystal rondelles, and then you get a little mini strand of simple cut. There's about 5-inch strand of these rose quartz. I use these in my work and I love them. And then you get 2 little flower charms too that go with this. They look like little pansies, and they're probably base metal stamped out. So you get 2 of those. So that's SL4, $12 only. So a baggie of rose quartz rounds in 2 different sizes. Some simple cut rose quartz, about 5 inches worth, 2 pansy charms, a full strand of black agate tubes, and 1 strand of these clear crystal. All right, so that's SL4, only $12. So I think that's pretty affordable. I think that's a good deal, y'all. Oh, I just got a multiple claims for SL4. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. Oh, I need to put this one back in the bag too. Oh, I see some more folks have tuned in on Instagram. I see MGem63 is watching. Hello. And Coda Craft Atelier is watching. Hello. All right. So this is a cool one. And get ready, y'all. This is a good strand. I took it off this strand because I was going to do something with it. But so first you get this base metal filigree and this bright gold. Jennifer says it's a little hard to see the darker against the darkish background. I'm on my phone now. Well, we've done a lot of different trials and tests on which the best background is for these lights, and this is the one that works the best where colors don't get bleached out. So we've done lighter backgrounds, but then things disappear, and darker backgrounds, and things disappear, and gray colors, but it washes out the color. So we have this lovely piece of driftwood, and that helps to color balance it and with a blue background. So that's the way that we've found works the best for us. But of course, if you ever have questions and the lots don't sell out, you can always email us and we can take pictures on whatever color background you like. All right. So for these pieces, I took this off the strand because I was going to use them. But it's a whole handful of these really cool pink opal pieces. So I think they look like landscapes. But the holes go kind of long ways. So the hole goes from this to this. So you get several different pieces and they're graduated. So you have some small ones and you have some large ones. And I think that that is really cool. I mean, you normally, I haven't seen these like this and these big kind of slab sizes. So this is kind of a really lovely rare strand. Usually when you see pink opal, you get smaller pieces, but you get a nice variety. So you can always take it apart, or it's already taken apart, but you can use the smaller ones or you can use the larger ones. There's a lot of different things that you can do. So this is SL5, $26, and you get this whole, it was a strand, but I took it apart at one point because I was going to use it, but then I decided not to. And that's SL5, $26 only. Send it to info@allegorygallery.com. And this is pink opal, like pink pony club opal. I'm just going to call everything pink pony club. And you also get that piece of filigree in that bright gold color. So that's SL5, $26. And I love it. Opal is one of those stones most people think like super flashy, like Ethiopian opal as the only opal. It's actually a stone that is a water-based stone, and there's different colors, and it's usually kind of a softer stone, and it comes in pink and blue and green, and it's really lovely. All right, so I need to put this back in the bag too before I seal it up. So it's SL5, $26. All right. So up next is, oh, this is a fun one. So this is SL6, only $14. You get a full strand of these faceted or faceted agate rounds. And those ones measure approximately 6 millimeter. So this is a good neutral, and I love that it's kind of milky. You also get this partial strand. This is what, how many inches? 7 inches ish of these really cool druzy kind of um, chalcedony agate. So it's kind of like a blue chalcedony. It's a real faint blue, so it's not like super, super duper charged blue, but um, you know, blue chalcedony is not usually one. It's kind of a lavendery, but it's real light. It's not like super duper blue. So you get a partial strand of that, and those are really cool. Those are fun shapes. You also get some more filigree, and this is base metal filigree. Um, and I'm not sure what, if it's tin or what. You also get some smaller faceted rounds and agate. And then, get ready, y'all. There is a kitty charm, another base metal. You have 3 check glass cat charms, and 1, 2, 3, 4 stamped brass cats. It kind of looks like Gertie. She's little like that. It has kind of rounded face and rounded features. So for all the childless cat ladies out there, here you go. No, I'm just playing. All right, so you get some check glass cats. You get some brass stamped cat charms. You have this base metal cat charm. You have some filigree, and you have this strand. This should be more. Like this alone is worth $14, let alone everything else. So that's SL6, $14, only one available. And I hope you all enjoy those. All right, so I'm moving on to the next one. This has not sold yet. SL5 has not sold yet, and SL6 has not sold yet, but the other ones have. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next one. And that's going to be SL7. And I've got a whole baggie of these kind of, they call those dog tooth amethyst or chevron amethyst. And they're kind of in these elongated nuggets. And they've got kind of like that white lightning pattern. Not all of them have it, but I think these are really pretty. The color is really deep and saturated. I think if you make stuff like pendulums or things like that, that could be really useful for that. You also get a strand of this really beautiful check glass, fire polished check glass. You get a strand of another strand of check glass. Get 2 more pieces of filigree here, base metal filigree. A little thing of little star beads. And then you get a little base metal star charm. So this is SL7, and you get all of this for only $14. What do y'all think of that? What y'all gonna have for dinner? I'm kind of hungry myself. On my personal timeline, I posted some beads that I wasn't 100% sure of the makers. Most of them are glass beads, and I guess what it is that after some time I forgot who made stuff, or I bought it from a secondary source and they never communicated who made them. So a lot of information sometimes is lost. So William says, you worked hard at putting these together. It's been a while since we did full lots like this. Yeah, I tried to make some nice lots and make it affordable. It's my birthday coming up, and I know traditionally I get to receive the gifts, but in kind of our fashion, we like to kind of give back. And so I've been making lots that are kind of affordable so that folks could celebrate by finding some treasures. Lena says, Jello for dinner. I'm guessing that's from the dental surgery. Okay, so SL8 is coming up. This is $20 for this lot. And there's a lot in this one. So let me kind of. So you get 3 of these base metal charms. They kind of look like hand mirrors. You know, like when they have on Sleeping Beauty, they have that and they look in the mirror. Maybe I don't know. But either that or like, I don't know, maybe that's for Christmas time. Or Christmas maraca. I don't know. Christmas paddle. I don't know. But you also get these really cool kind of components. So if you do those chandelier earrings, you can do that. Jennifer says fans, maybe. Can be whatever y'all want them to be. So you get 8 of these, which I think is really generous. They're base metal, but they're silver plated. So some of them you can tell have gotten oxidized a little bit. Lena says you could decoupage the backs of the mirrors. I think that could be cute. That's a good idea. And then not only do you get all these metal components, but you get this strand of this orange calcite, and that's probably 6mm. And then you also get this strand of very large sponge coral, vintage sponge coral. So you get a whole strand. There's 2 full strands of the vintage sponge coral, the orange calcite. You get 3 of these little charms with a flower and a butterfly. And I think those are cute. And then you also get these little chandelier components. So you could either turn these into earrings, or you could turn them into pendants, depending on, the size of a piece that you're making. So this is SL8, only $20 for everything. So that's nice. And like I said before, I've only made 1 lot each of these. So if you get them, then that's it. There's no more. Sometimes we do multiple lots of stuff, but tonight it's all one-offs. So that's SL8, $20. All right. Up next, we've got SL9. And this one's another fun one. So this is SL9, $14. You get a full strand of glass pearls. These look like 6mm. These are vintage. Those ones are old ones. You also get a strand of faceted onyx rondelles, and that's approximately 8 inches worth. And those ones measure about 9.5 by 7. So let's do another measure. All right, about 9.5 by 7mm. So you get approximately 8 inches of that. So that's like a shorty strand. And then you also get a short strand of this faceted onyx. That's about a little over 6.5 inches of that. And those are some faceted pieces. You get this Hamilton Gold, which is a metal plated plastic that they use gold to make that shiny finish. Sometimes this is called gold washed. And then you get those check glass hieroglyphic beads in black with gold. All right, so that's only $14, and I have a claim for that. So thank you so much. SL9 has been claimed. Thank you so much. All right, let's move on to the next one. I'm going to bag this up, and yeah. So are y'all making anything interesting? I saw a couple of y'all were making kind of fall-inspired jewelry yesterday. Oh, this one's a wild mix. We got this. This is SL10, $14 only. You get a 10-inch strand of the citrine nuggets. These are nice and smooth. The color is pretty good, nice and vibrant. You also get a little shorty, 4 of these faceted amethyst tab pendants. Those are really lovely. I think they're pretty. And then you also get a little shorty of some really dark amethyst rounds, faceted rounds. And then you get this dyed jade. They're briolettes, teardrops. And then you get some more of those really cool kind of chandelier components. And you get 8 of those. And that's only $14 for all of that. So you get this, the citrine, the dyed jade, the faceted amethyst, and some more faceted amethyst. And then these really cool base metal. I think these are silver plated because they got that kind of oxidation on them. And they're like rainbow. And that's there's 8 of them, and that's SL10. Oh, that's been claimed. Thank you so much. Yeah, I hope you all have been well and that you've been having fun making stuff lately. Um, and sometimes I know sometimes people are not able to make things all the time for whatever various reasons. But I think those are sometimes the good opportunities to kind of slow down and like plan projects out. And, you can always design things in your head. Sometimes I do that. They had a study about professional athletes, and they said the athletes that kind of visualize themselves making baskets or scoring goals or whatever are more successful than the ones that don't. So that is a really cool thing. So um, you get this full strand of this dyed jade lantern cut and that fun aqua blue. You get this little shorty thing, dyed jade, and those faceted kind of elongated barrels, kind of rice bead shape, but a little bit larger than that. And then you also get these silver colored plastic pieces that are metal coated silver plastic. So those are cool. They've got kind of a fun design on those. And really, you're just paying for the strand because this would be what, 16, 18, and then you get the fun extras. So $14 only. That's SL11. All right. And that's a beautiful color. I love that kind of vibrant blue, the electric blue. All right, let me do the next one. This is SL12. This is also $14. You get this whole big baggie of dimpled. This is vintage glass. This is vintage Japanese glass, and it's dimpled rounds in this deep, intense cobalt color. You also get 2 of these base metal filigree pieces in a bright shiny silver. You get this dyed jade. These are really cool. And you get some labradorite rounds. This is not necessarily the best quality of labradorite, but I still think there's a couple pieces with a little bit of flash. And I like labradorite, even if it isn't like flashy McFlasherson all the time. And then you get this little shorty. I mean, this is what? A little bit, 9.5 inches of these onyx kind of beads. Top drilled oval, faceted ovals. So you get this vintage Japanese glass, these onyx beads, this filigree, these faceted teardrops in dyed jade, and then these rounds of labradorite. And the rounds are. Oh, I see a couple people commenting on Instagram. Charlie says Hawaiian royal helmet. Sorry, typing fast. LOL, and thanks. I'll post them eventually about what she's making. And then Charlie also says, oops, wasn't sure if that was for me or beads. I'm scattered now. And then she said that thanks again. Sorry, I realize my attention is split. I can't multitask. Me neither. And Charlie said, did someone say childless cat lady? I'm here. That's me too. I'm totally a cat lady. All right. So these are 10 millimeter rounds and labradorite. And then these ones measure approximately 20 millimeters. And then long, and then 15 millimeters wide. And then these ones, I don't want to take them out of the bag. They're about 10 millimeters. I'll do it anyways. Look how cool these are. So vibrant. And these were made a long time ago in Japan. And I like them. And they had a little paper tag that says made in Japan. That's like tissue paper, but it fell off. And then you have these little onyx beads. So these onyx beads measure approximately, let's see, how much? 9 wide, about 18 long, and about 5 thick. All right. So this is SL12, $14 only, and you get the filigree pieces as well. All right, so I'm going to move to the next lot. I have some projects that I'm working on that I'm eager to get back to. I have one of these brooches that I'm working on in another colorway. I now have a couple of these that I'm working on for another colorway. I'm trying to put together some stuff for New York City Jewelry Week. Hopefully I get in the shows and I can go. So if you live in New York and want to let me sleep on your couch, that would be awesome. A lot of my friends who I knew in New York don't live there anymore, so I can't sleep on their couches. All right, so there's all kinds of goodies in this one. So this is SL13. And you have one of these labradorite kind of, I don't know what you call it, purse cut, but it's drilled from side to side, and it's faceted. That's lovely. You have this gold colored filigree. A lot of the lots tonight have this base metal filigree. You also get a strand, a full strand about 14-inch strand of very transparent smoky quartz. And I have a couple people watching on Instagram. Sora Slayer is watching. Also, John Venegas is watching. Hello. Hello, everyone. You also get this little shorty of some really beautiful, look how intense that color is, of purple amethyst, deep purple amethyst. And then you get a little selection of smoky quartz faceted rondelles. How many of these you get? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So you get 10 of these. These are smoky quartz. I love smoky quartz. And they measure approximately 12. Let me see. This 12. About 12 by 18. About 12 by 18 on these faceted rondelles. These ones measure approximately 6 millimeter by about 3.5. These are supposed to be 6 by 4 about. And then there's that deep purple amethyst. And then these are all different sizes, so I'm not going to even measure those. And then this one, this labradorite, got a little bit of blue flash on that one. That's SL13, only $14 for this lot. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next one. The way that you claim, if you're just tuning in, is you send us an email at info@allegorygallery.com. And it's a first come, first serve basis. William will create the spreadsheet and invoice people tonight. Hopefully tonight. And yeah, so that's SL13 for that. And you can claim that by sending us an email to info@allegorygallery.com. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? So SL14 is up next. And oh, Rosie is watching on Instagram. Hello, Rosie. This is SL14. And it's only $14. You get a full strand. Well, not quite full. You get a 12-inch strand of this dyed jade rounds. And they're kind of a beautiful kind of lavendery color. And these are about 9 millimeters for the faceted rounds. You get a little baggie of an assortment of rose quartz, and they're in 2 different sizes. Says, yes, I'll be doing the invoicing tonight. I'm making the spreadsheet as you're going so that I can do it from here without the lots. Oh, fun. See, he's talking to y'all. All right. And this lot also has some filigree, of course, space metal filigree. And that's that. And then there's this really cool little pendant. And it looks like it's a piece of amethyst that has a garnet attached. And it's got a little bail at the bottom, so you can dangle something off if you want. And it's probably base metal. But so only $14, and you get SL14 all for you. And there's rose quartz, dyed jade, some filigree, and then this this amber and garnet pendant. It says 925 on this. Can you see that? 925. So that's amazing. So that's SL14. First come, first serve. No claims on that yet. It's funny because some of the lots, they're real popular, and then some of them, I'll get multiple claims for some of the lots, and then some of the other lots, they don't get the love. I don't know why. All right, so this is a cool one. This is SL15, only $10. You get a whole bag of this vintage glass. It's a matte finish. It kind of looks like recycled African glass, but it's not. And then you get these two pieces. This is Amazonite, but it's not the best bluey part of Amazonite. It's this kind of peachy color, kind of tan color. So you all probably wouldn't recognize this as Amazonite, but that's came on a strand where they have parts of that same stone that's cut, and then you have two pieces of filigree. So you get this great big baggie full of these beads. They look really cool. They almost remind me of sea glass. So they're frosted, and they've got that kind of bottle glass green color to them. And they're in these kind of barrel shapes. And the holes are fairly large on these. So that's super nice. And yeah, so this is SL15, only $10. And you get this whole baggie. You get these two faceted stones, and then this one, the hole is not that great, so sorry about that. But still, you can always do something to cover that up, And then you get two pieces of filigree. So that's SL15, only $10. So that's pretty cool. All right. Oh, we have another person watching on Instagram, Mac Attack Mom. Hello. Hopefully you're doing well out there. Thank you for joining us today. Hopefully y'all are doing well. It's a Monday. I drove all night last night. I left around 2, and I got home after midnight, just after midnight. So it was a long day for me, but it was lovely. I had a lovely time in Providence. All right, so I've got SL16. This is $12, and you get a little baggie. This is pineapple quartz, which is a synthetic. That's made to look like opals. You have this whole strand of dyed jade coin beads. You also get a little mini thing, about 4 inches worth of these peridot drops. I love those. Those are vibrant and green. And then you also get some brass stamped dragonflies. There's one more of those. So you get 3 of those, only for $12. So that would just be this normally. And these ones measure, let me see. Will measure approximately 4 by 2. I kind of bit round because I think this caliper is a little bit off. And then these ones are about 3 by 6. And those are all different. And then these ones, I love these ones. They kind of glow. And I love a good pineapple quartz. It's 10 millimeter faceted round. All right, so you get this little collection here, this little surprise lot 16 for $12 only. and you get a full strand of dyed jade, some peridot, and you also get these really lovely stamped dragonfly pieces. I think those are pretty. And the gold is kind of like this antique gold. So I think those are pretty. They're almost orangey with their natural patina. All right. So that'd be fun. I could see making a necklace. Maybe using this for the base of the necklace with some of those interspersed. And then put one of those little pineapple quartz and then maybe have that hang down. And you could do that in a couple places where you do that. Wouldn't that be pretty? Or just make these into a pair of earrings. Can have an earring and a necklace kind of combination station. Look how pretty that looks. I think that'd be cute. But for earrings, oh boy, that would be really pretty. Well, let me leave that there like that. We'll have a little set there, a little matching set. And for $12 only, that's a steal. All right. So that's SL16. And those are lovely. I think those are fun. I like that bright green and the gold. Oh, the other thing that I did while I was away, one of my friends is in the Fuller Museum of Craft, which is in Brockton, Massachusetts, which I thought was pretty close. And when I drove there, it took like 45 minutes. And then when I tried to go home, it was supposed to be like an hour and a half. And then my GPS took me on like the scenic tour of all the elementary schools of Massachusetts. It took a long time to get back. So, there. All right. So this is SL17, $14. Michelle says the details on the dragonfly is great. So you get this little shorty strand, about 7 inches of these lava beads. Aren't those cool? They're chunks. Usually when you see the lava beads, they're more round, but I like that they have this kind of more organic shape. You have these two base metal filigree pieces in that kind of silver color, and then a little fan shaped. You know, there's a whole thing about Regency era fan play or something they call it, but they could like communicate symbols and stuff like you're like, I'm available to dance if you held your fan a certain way. And then the thing that really is makes this worth what it is, this $14 thing, is you get a full strand of these really cool faceted black tourmaline. So these are lovely. I love black tourmaline. And these have that beautiful shine to them. And they're faceted. Look at that. Those are pretty. All right. So these ones are approximately, oh, this says about 4.5 by 4.5 by 4. And these ones are about 16 millimeters or so by 13, but they're all different because they're all organic-y. All right, so normally this would be like 16 to 18 by itself for the black tourmaline. It's, oh, and I see SL16 has been claimed. Thank you so much. So yeah, thank you. Before I left for Providence, we watched Agatha All Along on the Disney Channel, and that was pretty good. I like that. We tried to watch the Rings of Power last night when I got home, but I was falling asleep while we were watching it, so we may have to watch that again. I don't even know if we finished it. All right. So I've got this. This is SL18, only $12. And you get a little shorty strand of carved bone. Look at that. I love those. And then you get this shorty strand of, they call that hairpin shape. And that's, well, this is about 8 inches. So that would be about 16 inches. And they're painted with a little embellished with the gold. And those are bone beads. And then you get 2 of these batik dyed bone beads, and they're cool. They're shaped on that curvature like that. And then you get 2 of those. And then of course there's some filigree, some base metal filigree. So this is SL18, $12 only. And I love these. Those kind of have that harvesty, almost looks like wheat to me on the side of this, like carved wheat. So I think that's beautiful. I love carved bone. All right, so this is SL18, only $12. And let's put a black heart for the last one. All right. So we watched Agatha All Along, and that was pretty good. I like that one actor who's in Heartstopper on the Netflix. Someone need to pluck his eyebrows, but that's all right. This is SL19, $14. You get a whole strand of this. Well, let me see if it's a whole strand. It is, let me see. All right, about 12-inch strand of these serpentine rounds. They almost look like muscadine grapes. And they're about 12-millimeter rounds, 12 inches of that. You have some of this dyed jade coins, faceted coins. You have about 4 inches worth of that. I love those. Those are great. Those are about 10-millimeter by about 10 by 6 faceted coins. You also have these really cool kind of, I don't know what kind of wood this is, but you have these wood kind of buttons. This would make a really fun closure. Or if you wanted to have like these strands, you can use this as a divider for multi-strands. So you put this like this, string it up so that this goes in between every so often. And you can make a really cool kind of choker or bracelet, and like a chunky one. And then, so that's cool. You get 3 of those. And then you also get this little baggie of tiger's eye. So you get some brown, a little bit of that goldy color. You have this antique brass colored base metal tree pendant, tree of life pendant. And then this little kind of art deco little filigree piece. So this is SL19, and you get all of this. So you have these serpentine rounds, this faceted jade coin shape. You get these 3 buttons in wood, and you also get these tiger's eye beads, and then this all filigree. So you get a lot in that, I think. Now these ones, let me measure them for you, since I measured pretty much everything else. All right, and that's SL19, $14 only. And this is about 18 by, this is 7.5. And these ones, they're drilled long ways, so from end to end. All right, so that's SL19. I have a claim for SL19. Thank you so much. Yeah, I really appreciate it. That makes my heart happy when y'all like the things that I share. I try to work hard on putting these together. We got away. I used to do this all the time for lots. They were called mixed slots, and I would do these, and they were a lot of work. So I kind of got away from doing them, but I hope you all like them. All right. So this is SL20. Michelle says, still here and love your lots. And then I have these black onyx. They're faceted, rounded rectangles, drilled long ways. There's this whole strand of dyed chalcedony, kind of chalcedony agate. You can tell because it's got that kind of milkiness to them. I guess, you know, not all agates are chalcedony, but all chalcedony are agates. Is that how that goes? Anyways, you have these base metal little silver bead caps. I think those are fun. And so this is SL20, $14. You got a full strand of that. You get a little bonus strand of this and those bead caps and those fun kind of, I don't know what that kind of design is called, but in my mind it's like the Wizard of Oz. All right, I see that's been claimed. Thank you so much. Yeah. So hopefully y'all are doing well out there and you're having a good evening. It's just after 10 o'clock here. All right, so this is a fun one. All right, so this is SL21. All right, so this one includes these two big pieces of Amazonite. And you see what I mean? They've got that kind of naturally occurring kind of matrix stone, and those other two were all of that. And then you get a full strand of faceted onyx ovals. You get this little shorty thing, not even 2 inches hardly, of dyed jade rondelles. And then you also get a little shorty strand of these faceted round. That's about 4 inches. You get another one. These are a little bit bigger. Yeah, they are. King Kong size, a little bit. And those ones is approximately 5.5 inches. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those. And then the cool thing, which I think is pretty groovy, is this base metal charm. It looks like it's been plated of a little person carrying a good luck charm, the horseshoe charm. And they're just gonna like hang out and carry that around. So good luck. So this is SL21, $16 only. You have some onyx, dyed jade, and some more dyed jade, and some Amazonite. Now these onyx are approximately 10 by 8.5 or so by about 5. And these ones, they measure about 20 millimeter faceted rounds. These are 10 millimeter faceted rounds. And then these ones are about 8 by 5, 8 by 5-ish. All right, and then these ones, pretty big, 40 millimeters long by 28.6 wide and about 9 inches or 9 millimeters thick. All right, this is SL21, $16 only. This strand by itself, the onyx, faceted onyx ovals should be 16, but you get these extras, and then you get that really cool, kind of unusual good luck charm. Who doesn't want good luck? I see Norma is headed off. She got to finish her book for book club. See you, Norma. And we have another person watching on Instagram. She8 is watching. Ooh, this one's fun. Right, this is SL22, $14 only. You get a full strand of these faceted carnelian in that very bright color. And this is, they measure approximately, these are about 12 millimeters or so, faceted rounds, carnelian. And it's a full strand, so that's about what, 16 inches? 16 inches. 16 inches of these faceted carnelian. That alone is worth $16 to $18, depending where you're buying that. And then you have these vibrant, these super vibrant dyed jade briolettes. And then you have these really fun faceted peridot. And you got about almost 6 inches of that. And then you have the bead caps in gold this time, and they're base metal. So this is SL22, $14 only. And so you get this full strand of carnelian, some peridot, some dyed jade, and then those fun bead caps. All right, you know what to do to claim that. You just send us an email with the lot number. That's SL22, and send that to info@allegorygallery.com. All right, what else we got going on? Do any of you have any fun plans for the week ahead? For me, we're trying to figure out what to do for my birthday. And then my friend Kelly Russell might come for the weekend, but I'll have to double check on that. And then on Thursday at noon, David Harper Clemens is going to be doing a talk about his latest show at the gallery if you on Instagram. So this is black agate tubes. You get a little baggie of some red tiger's eye chip. You get a strand of faceted, a little shorty strand of faceted tiger's eye, the bright kind of goldish yellow one. You get a little shorty thing of some citrine chip. And then you also get this little filigree antique brass stamped filigree. In that kind of fun disc shape. I used to use this all the time. I would layer stuff up on this all the time. And I also used to punch a hole in this and then put the bezels in there without a bail. And then I would use my crocodile because this is thin and you can punch it with a crocodile. And I would pretty much rivet on one of those bales. And then that kind of filigree would act as a little frame around my piece and make it a little bit more decorative. So this is SL23 and it's only $12. And it measures approximately 13 by 4. So you got full strand, that's black agate. Then you get these ones, and this is 3.7, so about 4. And then by 6. And then the chips are all different sizes. Lena says, as soon as I get done at the hospital tomorrow, I'm going to eat everything, all the things. Poopy made me an Asian pear bread. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds really tasty, actually. All right, so this is SL23, only $12. And I love that, the red tiger's eye. Tiger's eye, some people don't like it, but I like it. Well, hopefully everything goes well tomorrow, Lennis, for your hospital appointment. All right, this is SL24. Michelle says, I also have many new ideas for the beach and maybe online store with my business partner. Oh, good. So you get a full strand of these snow quartz rounds. Those are pretty cool. You get a full strand of that crystal, those rondelles. You get these faceted amethyst rounds. I love those. I might keep those if nobody gets this. And then you get these wavy ovals in amethyst and the pale amethyst. So, and then you get, let me see what you get. You get all kinds of stuff. You get this toggle or this clasp. So that's like this. And then you get these little base metal. They feel light, so these are probably plastic coated, like Hamilton Gold style spacers. And you get all of that for $16. So this light amethyst, very lovely kind of pale lavender colors. You have this the faceted crystal, and you have this snow quartz, and then you have this really beautiful faceted disco ball style amethyst, and that measures approximately, these are probably about 8 millimeter ish. It says 7.5. Sometimes when they facet stuff, it loses some of that the girth, I guess. I don't know. All right, so that's 15 by about 20 by about 7. So 15 by 20 by 7. And then these ones are 8 millimeter. All right, so that's SL24, only $16. And if you're interested in claiming that, please send us an email at info@allegorygallery.com. All right, where did I put my bag? There's my bag. So that's SL24, $16 only. William says, Tiger's Eye is very grounding for this time of year. Yeah, I like it. I think it's a wonderful stone. Some people also use it for prosperity and for abundance. Some people use it for protection. All right, so this is SL25, $16. You get this little shorty of chrysocolla. This is simple cut chrysocolla, and these are fun. These are faster. You get I love simple cut stones. This is beautiful chrysocolla, about 5 inches of that, and you get this really lovely kind of teal colors, that kind of green, and there's a little bit of brown in it. Very beautiful. SL25, $16. You get this dyed jade rounds. There's a full strand of that. And that beautiful kind of almost watermelon colors. You get a little strand of bicone. It's actually a full strand of bicone crystal. And you get some, this is called Russian Amazonite. And you can tell that it's different because it's got that kind of different color. Like a lot of times Amazonite that is from like Brazil in that area is kind of a more of a light blue. And sometimes if you get it's got that sometimes they call it golden Amazonite where it's got more matrix. It's kind of the yellows and browns and stuff. And Russian Amazonite is more of this tealy green color, and it's got white kind of stripes in it. So that's how you can tell that apart. And then you have these two pieces of base metal. Filicrees are super lightweight, which are great for earrings if you're going to do that. So this is SL25, $16 only. So these ones, dyed jade, are about 8mm faceted rounds. These rounds of the Russian Amazonite are about 12mm, and these ones, about 4mm, about 4mm bicones. So that's SL25, $16 only. All right, so I'm gonna move on to the next one so that I can get to work on my projects. Normally I would kind of sit here and show you stuff and like plan out designs with y'all, but we gotta cook with the gas, y'all. All right. I'm also very hungry, so this is SL26, $16. You get a full baggie of this vintage glass, which is kind of fun. You also get a full strand of this peach moonstone drop, teardrop shape. And then you get this little shorty of orange chalcedony. And then you also get these Hamilton Gold little tire beads. And they've got the little hearts. Oh, I see I got a claim for SL25. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And these ones, the vintage glass, are kind of a matte finish. And they're really lovely. They have a good feeling to them. Like they feel good. Oh, let me get that one. Go down the mountain. All right. And these ones, this is Peach Moonstone. And it's in these lovely little flattened teardrop shapes. Some peach fuzz there, y'all. And then orange chalcedony. A lot of times people confuse this for carnelian. And the thing is that it's related. And sometimes what they do is they have these clay ovens that they heat the stones and it brings out that kind of orange color. I found some stones that look like this in the desert, which was pretty wild. And these are little briolets, faceted briolets, and they're lovely. And these ones, these are all different sizes, but these measure approximately 9 by 6 by about 4. And you get, how much of this do you get? So this measures about 4 inches. So if you double that, that's about 8 inches worth of this. All right, so this is SL26, $16. And that's a very lovely kind of like warm color palette. I think that's really fun. Cindy said, Charlie, no worries. I have been too, LOL, about being attention is split. All right, so here you go. All right, that's SL26 and $16 only. That has not been claimed yet. So if you're interested in claiming that, you can still claim that. There's several lots actually that have not been claimed this evening. And then some lots have been claimed multiple times. So there you go. You never know. All right, this is SL27 and is $16. You get this about 10-inch strand of pyrite. This is a good pyrite from vintage times, and they're in these kind of rough organic cubes. You get a full strand of faceted onyx, and that's a full strand of that. And then you also get a little shorty strand of these very pale chalcedony beads, and it's 7 inches of that. And then these briolets. Now this is nice because they're all put on there with a little tiny space, or sometimes they're all spread out. So, and it's kind of a blue chalcedony, and then you get 2 pieces of filigree, so that gold color filigree. So that's SL27, $16 only, and I see a claim for that. All right, thank you so much. And these ones, just so you know, are approximately 9 millimeters for the faceted onyx. All right. Thank you so much for everybody who is claiming stuff this evening. It does help us a lot. You know, as we've talked a lot about the shop and getting the shop up and running. And it's a big thing to get the shop up and running. And I know that some people just kind of thought that once we got the shop up and running, that would be that. But it's almost like we're starting over. And so we're building our customers and clientele in Johnstown. So it's hard, but you know, we knew that we would have some challenges as we start. So you get this piece of this base metal filigree. You also get these faceted onyx rondelles, a full strand of those. And then here you get these 2 great big pieces of Hubei turquoise. These are big pieces. This would be $16 by itself. But you also get this full strand. That'll probably be something. And these ones, they measure approximately about 6.5 or so by 9.5. So I don't know. They're all kind of different. So like this is about 6 by 10, I would say. Now these pieces, these great big pieces of turquoise, are about 25 by 16 by 22. This one is 24 by 30 by about 12.5. All right, so that's SL28, $16 for this lot. All right, we have a couple more lots tonight. I hope you all have been enjoying this. I think it's fun to make these combinations. And there's one each of these. That's how. So you have this great big strand of faceted onyx teardrops, only 14. And then you have this shorty strand of smoky quartz nuggets, and that's about almost 7 inches. And then you have more of those gold fan filigrees. So this is what's the main thing in this strand, or in this lot. And this would be probably a $20 strand regularly, so you're getting a good deal on this. So this is about 30 by 16 by 9. And then these are all different sizes. The largest one measures approximately 25 by, I don't know, it's all kind of wobbly. So this is SL29, $14 for this assortment. All right, hopefully y'all like the stuff I picked. I've been trying to include a lot of black tonight because I think it's a good neutral. And neutrals don't get the love that they should, I don't think. I know some people are like, ugh, another black bead. But really, I think they're lovely. All right, so this one's a little bit more of a spendy lot. This is one of the $24 lots. And the reason why is you get this great big bag of citrine. I was going to break this up and to make it into smaller ones. This is several strands of citrine tumbled nuggets, smooth nuggets. You also get this strand, almost an inch strand of twisted tiger's eye, and then some filigree in that gold color. So this is that base metal, and you'll get 4 of those. So I think that's nice. These are cool because you can take the stones and you can kind of take your pliers and fold these up, and then you can capture cabochons in this. So I know some of y'all don't know how to set stones. And so, for like people who get cabochons but then don't really know what to do with them, that's something that you can do pretty easily with some filigree because it is so pliable, because it is such lightweight, and because it has all those cutouts. So you can wrap those around your pieces, and that works pretty well. Now, this is a whole baggie of the tumbled citrine, and it's really lovely. And it seems like this is a top drilled, so like the holes go from side to side here at the top. So that's a lot in this one. So that's SL30, $24. And then you get a lot in that. You know, I've seen people sell little shorty strands of that kind of citrine, and they sell it for way more. And then these are cool. These are vintage, and they've got that twisted. I think sometimes the twisted shapes are some of the coolest, and you don't see that a lot nowadays. I think it's because it's more work. So if you go to a bead show, a lot of times you see a lot of rounds right now, and that's because rounds are popular to make like mala necklaces and mala bracelets. All right, so you just have 2 lots left to go. You get this. This is SL31. It's $26. I know this is a little bit more spendy than some of the other ones, but you get this brown agate, and these are really cool shapes. This one kind of, it looks like a little house, and it's got beautiful banding. I love the patterns on these. This is a really one. This one even has a little tiny Derusi in that. You see that? That's a little Derusi. And you get that kind of banded agate in brown. So this would be a whole strand of that. You get 2 of these dyed mother of pearl pieces. You get this little shorty strand, and by shorty, I mean almost 7.5 inches of faceted tiger's eye squares. And then you get a full strand of tiger's eye. So, and these are tiger's eye rounds. So that's a pretty good deal, I think. And the tiger's eye rounds are approximately 8mm round. And these squares are approximately 10, I would say 10mm by about 6 or so. So you've got all of this banded brown agate. You have these two mother of pearl pieces. They shine really good in the light. See, they got that shine. And then all this tiger's eye. All right, I'm going to put this away. I know that one was a little bit more spendy, but oh, that's just been claimed. Thank you so much. But I think it's worth it. It's worth more than that, actually, by quite a bit. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. All right. Up next, and it's the last lot for tonight. I was gonna try to go to 40, but I didn't want to wait too long to go on. So this is SL32, and I've got a strand of these faceted onyx briolettes. These are lovely. You can make a pair of earrings and make your money back just from that. You have a full strand of garnet, and you get these three large, this is faceted, I believe black tourmaline. So you get these faceted, they're large. And then you get this fun little piece of filigree. That's a nice little addition. I remember my mom used to have spoons that had the ends that kind of look like that. Do you remember when spoon rings were like super popular? I remember people used to come into the shop all the time and be like, "Do you have spoon rings? Can you help me make the spoon ring?" And like we would, people would go to the antique stores and get spoons all the time and cut them up and do all this other stuff. Which probably, if they left the spoons the way they were, they probably worth more than cutting them up. But you know, folks wanted to make rings with them, and that's understandable. They like the pattern. All right. I see a claim for SL32. Thank you so much. All right. So that's our show for this evening. Hopefully, y'all found some goodies. If you like the lots, these kind of surprise lots, maybe we'll continue them in tomorrow. I do have some things that we got in for the shop. I'm gonna flip this around. Normally, I don't flip the camera around, but I'm in the mood to do that tonight. How are y'all doing? Did y'all like that? All right. I always get so greasy because these lights are so hot. Yeah, so hopefully you all had a good evening. I should have degreased off camera while I had a chance. Um, so yeah, I had fun. Pretty mellow night. Usually I'm sass factor 5, but William's not here. So anyways, I hope you all have a great rest of your evening and that you have fun with, making something. We do have a sale going on currently in the online store. If you don't know the address of our online store, it's www.allegorygallery.com. And if you use the coupon code Happy B Day Andrew, that's me, I'm Andrew, and you can save 25% off. And the reason why we picked 25% is because my birthday is on September 25th. So 25, 25. I am not turning 25 though. So maybe 25 again several times over. Um, anyways, so I just wanted to say thank you so much for all of your support. When I go on these things like going to Providence, and when I work on this community building stuff, it's really amazing. And I couldn't do that without all of you out there. So just know that whenever you make a purchase, either in our online store or our physical location or in our D stash or however the many different ways that you can purchase from us, that also goes towards things like community building, amplifying historically marginalized voices, and it goes a very long way to, I think, helping make the world a better place, and a more inclusive and diverse and really a more beautiful place. So thank you so much for doing that. It really means a lot to me. Personally, I know that is something that is important to both me and William, but since I am a person of color, a lot of people, they say, oh, I don't even think of that, you know, and I think that's one of the things that, you know, is both good but also kind of hard sometimes because when people don't they say they're colorblind, and they don't see people for their like their differences. And I think that's nice, I think that's a step towards the progress of being, more equitable. However, I also think that that is where people, if they don't see that you come from a different background, then you can't celebrate those things that make you different. So, like, my mom is an immigrant and she has a story of how she came to the United States, and there's a rich cultural heritage to the Filipino culture. And when people say that they don't see me as a person of color, that almost erases my mother's history. And so, I get the sentiment and I get that people want to be loving and supportive, and that's what they're trying to say, that they don't see me as being different or um, something bad. But at the same time, I think it's good to recognize what makes us different and celebrate those differences, and lift each other up in our diversity. And I think we're stronger for our differences and coming together and being able to, be who we are authentically. And, there's a lot of richness to this melting pot that we belong to. So, thank you so much to all of you who allow me to do this work, who allow me to travel and take workshops and learn. It's really a lovely thing to be able to build community with other people, and we couldn't do that without all of you. Otherwise, I'd have to find a different job, and I don't want to. I want to hang out with all of you and continue to make things. All right, I see a couple folks. They said they enjoyed it tonight. So maybe we'll do some more tomorrow night. We'll see. I'll go to the cottage tomorrow and raid my stash there. So we'll have all kinds of goodies for that too. Teresa says, great lots and have a good night. Lana says, thanks, Andrew. Anna says, those were great. And Michelle says, thank you, Andrew, and happy birthday. Well, thank you all so much for all of your support and loving, kind wishes. It makes my heart happy. And I hope that we can celebrate together somehow. We're still thinking on ways that we can kind of do that virtually. Excuse me. So maybe a creative make along. What do y'all think about that? We just have to time it just right. When I was looking at the weather, and I really want to go to the beach, but I don't want to go to the beach if it's like cold and rainy. So I don't mind if it's a little chilly to go to the water, but I also don't want to go when it's like raining because I don't like to get wet when it's not. So, um, yeah. Jennifer says, thank you and happy birthday. Thanks. I may try to make a couple special birthday things to put out in the world, and maybe we'll do some giveaways and some different things. Cindy says, plenty of good lots. You got a good glow. Oh, for being shiny. That's kind of, it's like I get so shiny. I was like, I look like I've been frying chicken all day. And then she said, go get dinner soon. Thank you, Andrew. I don't know what we're going to have for dinner. I don't know if there's leftovers tonight, but we'll see. All right. Rosemary Lee says, have a great evening and hope you have a wonderful birthday. Me too. We're still trying to dream up and plan what we're going to do for all of our virtual friends who can't hang out. At one point, we had talked about doing something maybe in the shop, but I think it's kind of last minute. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. And it says, yes, we are stronger when we see and appreciate all the cultures that make us unique. I agree. All right. Have a great night, everyone. Stay safe out there. If you're in the path of the storm, we're going to send some good energy out your way and lots of love. I don't know if it's going to do it. Lots of love. Is it going to do it? Yeah, it did it. Send lots of love and energy. Good. Thumbs up. Energy your way to break up that storm for you. And hopefully keep all of you safe and you know, safe. We want our AG Bead fam to be safe. All right. I will see you all tomorrow. All right. See ya.